Hi everybody, welcome to Singapore. We're back for night 2 now of ALR. We are here in the Marina Bay for round 16 of the World Championship. And of course, thank you by the way to Meet You had a very nice comment that he put on the highlights about an hour ago. So fantastic stuff for that. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, Meet You. Very nicely done indeed. But yeah, so I hope you're enjoying the highlights as much as you're going to enjoy this race tonight. 23 turns around this 5-kilometer long circuit. And the lap record is held by Kevin Magnussen, which is a bit of an unusual lap record holder. Same thing for the silver brand as well, as we have Mike Sprake, who is also the lap record holder as well. He's done a 1:36.888 then. Oh my word, goals last season as well. Of course, we had a lot of I think bronze drivers in the silver race last season, didn't we? It was very much a mix and match, wasn't it? All-time lap record around here is set by Gurman, 1:34.192 then, which of course is the silver lap record, of course, not the gold, of course, as we have two individual divisions and all that kind of stuff, right? In the Drivers' Championship, then, as we have done enough of the pleasantries. Now, let's get on with the racing, shall we? And before we do so, we've got to take a look at the drivers and the constructors' standings, and here they are. Troy leads the championship by 77 points from game at the moment. And talking of the championship, actually, we must congratulate Emerson, who won the World Championship last night. He's a double World Champion, which, unbeknownst to me, I basically messed up big style. So apologies to Emerson, but apologies to you guys at home as well. That's absolutely appalling form by me, isn't it? It's appalling. It really is indeed. Might need to add a column on my spreadsheet and stuff like that. I gotta say, my maths was not wrong this time. It was just the method, unfortunately. But there you go. Maths has never been my strong point. Well, I don't think a lot of things have been my strong point either. I don't think English is my strong point, and neither is science. Having said that, I'm pretty good at biology. I've got to say, I know when a leaf is a leaf, and I also know when I'm hungry. So I suppose that's a win, isn't it? Really. Unfortunately, I only got a D in science, so that kind of says it all, really, don't it? Anyway, let's get back to the championship, shall we? Because I digress already. I've only been on there for like 30 seconds or so. Championship standings look like this. Troy leads the World Championship at the moment then, and second position is a Gamer. He has 77 points, 77 points behind Troy. Troy cannot win the championship tonight. However, if my calculations are correct, he may be able to win it in the Russian Grand Prix in a week's time then, but take that with a pinch of salt then, because I think we only have 100. I think we only have 100 in like 50 odd points up for grabs or stuff like that. I'll have to get me a mass out again. No, you won't be able to win it in Russia. You might be able to bring it in Japan then. Gosh, that's the problem. These numbers are too big for me. That's why I like close championships, because that means I don't have to get my old fingers and calculators out. Third position is Nigel. He'll have to return back to gold one, but he's got a fight on his hand. That is a New Potato. 3 points separates Nigel and New Potato. It's a cracking battle to see who is going to be promoted to gold. I'm loving that. Serious Mushroom at the moment is starting to drop back slightly. He's 23 points behind, which doesn't sound like much, but in the form that Nigel and Potato on that, it's going to be quite a deficit to overhaul, isn't it? Wilson has been having a bit of a couple of issues at the moment with the old form lately, unfortunately for Wilson. I haven't said that. He did have 5th position in Belgium, didn't he? But he's dropping back in the battle for the final promotion spot. He is now 14 points away from Serious Mushroom. BP in 7th position, and he could he has the pace, don't he, BP? Does he have the consistency? He's also 14 points away from Wilson as well. Gordo in 8th position. Fantastic drive from Gordo. He has now actually gone across the line in first on 2 occasions in his league career in ALR, but he's never won a race, has he, Gordo? But hopefully maybe put that wrong right either towards the end of the season. But he's on a strong season, Gordo is, and he's my driver of the season for Silver at this moment in time. Good stuff indeed there from Gordo. We got Welshman now dropping down to 9th position. She hasn't scored a point since her incredible win on National Women's Day. Women's Day in Canada a couple of weeks ago then. So unfortunately for Maldonado, she hasn't scored a point since then. Goodness me. A bit like she's taken after her hero, Pastor Maldonado. I don't think got a point since his incredible win in the Spanish Grand Prix in 2012. So, oh goodness me, similarities are the same. Farf has popped himself into the top 10 as well. Good stuff indeed there from Farf, and great stuff, but it's so nip and tuck then, because there's only 2 points between Farf and Curly, 8 points between himself and TK as well. Pretty impressive stuff, but biggest mover in the championship was, of course, our race winner from last week. which was Ayrton, and his first ever race win of his ALR career. He's had a second in bronze, now he has a win in silver. He is out of the relegation zone as well, and only 3 points away from Steve now, so that win has really transformed this season. And Baz has dropped down into 7th position after his 5-point deduction. Jake the Slayer is now in the relegation zone along with Young Tommy and Billet then. So at the moment, Billet is now 3 points away from Young Tommy. Young Tommy is 11 points away from Jake the Slayer, and Jake the Slayer is 5 points away from safety. So and with the races ticking down quite quickly now, I think that those drivers have really got to start to pull up their socks, just as I took mine off. In the constructors standings, we have Renault, who are leading the championship, with Mercedes in second and 53 points away. Then do not tell anyone, but I do have a Mercedes shirt on at the moment, but that's because I couldn't find my neutral ALR t-shirt, which hopefully I'll be able to, I'm hoping to be able to have an ALR jumper next season, and perhaps, well, of course, hopefully the merchandise and all that comes to fruition as well, which would be good, wouldn't it? Mercedes are in second position, Ferrari in third, but they're 82 points away from the Mercedes team at the moment, so that's quite a big gap. Alfa Romeo in fourth position, they're only 13 points away from the Ferrari. Williams are up into fifth now. Racing Point have moved up into sixth, and 11 points drift of the Williams team. Then Red Bull are dropping down to seventh with Haas in eighth position. Ninth is the McLaren, and AlphaTauri have closed in slightly, but they're still a massive 34 points away from the McLaren team, and unfortunately, they're the only team that hasn't got into triple figures just yet. That's the drivers and the constructors done. South 5-5 for me. I think I am done. Right then, let's see who's out on track at the moment then. So TK is out at the moment, and this is the longest race in term of time on the whole of the calendar as well. Of course, the stream last night was only 2 hours and 4 minutes long, which was quite impressive actually, wasn't it, really? So really good stuff, Ben. We only had one safety car and one virtual safety car all the way through the race, so so good stuff indeed. Then TK starts his lap now. TK is I gotta say, the more we're watching TK, this is 12th Grand Prix now in ALR Silver, and I gotta say he's more and more becoming a specialist qualifier. He's a fantastic qualifier, isn't he? Very much in the same breath as Jarno Trulli, I would say. Fantastic stuff from TK. Of course, he got the pole position on one of the most difficult races of the calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix, and I wonder if he would like to like to have another pole position here tonight here in Singapore. Let's go to the comments, shall we? We got Maldonado saying at first, oh yes, Bulky is second, hello from Ayrton as well, good evening, Formula Moments, yo, thought I'll let someone else get the first comment in, as Serious Russian's fifth as well. Stop licking his beep there. Oh goodness me, Farfar is already, goodness gracious me, Farfar, we didn't even pass the watershed yet. We've got TK saying, good evening, I hope it's a monsoon tonight now from TK. We're just watching TK on the stream now, coming down at Raffles Boulevard, or Boulevard, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it might be the Boulevard of Broken Dreams by the end of this one for some drivers. It's a brutal old circuit, isn't it? Kakarot Goku, good luck, guys. I love that name, by the way. Of course, I am a big old Dragon Ball fan. No, Dragon Ball Z. Not too much GT, and I love Super as well. And there you go, there's my nerdiness coming out again. Yep, and I gotta say, Vegeta's my favourite character, but hello, Goku. Serious Russian saying, good luck all. Dylan saying, evening everyone. Hello, Dylan. Gio is also saying, hello, good luck all. Yep, great stuff indeed. And Gio's a bit nervous for this one. Young Tommy, good evening, everyone. And Gordo's gone dry. Serious Russian, dry as well. TK has gone fast as on a 35.660 to start off the times. And good stuff indeed. What about Gordo? He's invalidated his time, and he's come back into the pits, and this is a crucial part about this race, because if you invalidate, you are in some serious trouble, ain't you? Maldonado then is just into the back straight there as Troy is on a quick lap as well. We've also got a Red Bull as well of Kimi Maitrev on board with him now. Then lovely helmet design as well, a bit of black and pink there. Goodness me, I think that's shades of Booty to Lights helmet as well. Of course, the full-time bronze driver out of the final turn there, and Kimi Maitrev goes into fast at the moment, 0.6 of a second in front of TK, and that's a statement of intent straight away, isn't it? Good stuff indeed. Ayrton's gone a third fastest there. Of course, Ayrton is flying high, isn't he? And I'm sure he'll be listening to the Lighthouse family as he goes through turn 1, 2 and 3. Of course, he won the Grand Prix, didn't he, last time out in where were we? We was in Italy, wasn't we? And I got to say, that's very good stuff from my memory bank, isn't it? Maldonado is on 0-2 in the second intermediate split time as well. We have got a Vintage saying, hi everyone, good luck at Silver then. Dan Murphy Racing, OMG. Yes, but I don't think Dan doesn't like qualifying, does he? I got to say, I think that he is never prepared, which he probably isn't actually, to be honest, or it might be because the fact is that maybe he is a bit like Kim Rankin. He's probably having an ice cream, isn't he, in the back of the truck or something. He is in the Mercedes tonight, though, isn't he? As a gamer, unfortunately, is not here tonight, which is going to, I think there's another dent there to his championship campaign, and this is just helping Troy extend his lead, isn't it? As Maldondo's gone fastest there, and I've got to say, I keep saying this all the time for Maldonado, but she is very quick in the first part of qualifying. Can she now sew all of that up there, tie it all up there, and get a final? Lovely helmet from Troy, lovely stuff indeed. Then I got distracted by Troy's helmet, excuse me. But yes, can Troy have a good session all round there as well? Because it unfortunately seems to come unstuck in Q2 and sometimes in Q3 as well. Troy, goodness me, there, I got to say, well held, sir, and he's still half a second quicker than the rest of the field. He appeared with that amazing moment in the final turn there as well. Goodness me, that definitely would have woke me up. Oh, good gosh, sir. But again, I would have been in the wall. And I'm out of breath already. Oh gosh, I think, oh goodness me, then I think that's there we go. That's what you get for drinking Coke before the stream, then, isn't it? Really? On board there with Curly, so he is the only driver on the circuit mount who is on a time run as well as we go into turn one. Let's leave you on board, Curly, for the moment. Then, as Fulham Rowan says. Oh goodness me, he thought he was out of it. I was only like 5th in my race. So Jonathan, evening Sean, good evening. Jonathan, Dylan saying, oh gosh, I'm not looking forward to this tomorrow, nor am I. It's going to be the most painful 2 hours of my life, I can assure you of that. We got Pillar saying good evening. Good evening Sean, you big sexy man. Hello. No, yes, I am big, but unfortunately I'm more of the round feature rather than the tall feature. I love to be tall because I used to be a goalkeeper, but unfortunately they put me in goal because I was more stocky than anything else, and I also took up most of the goal. Curly coming through turn 9 as well, down the back straight into the Singapore Sling as well, which is not a Singapore Sling anymore, which that's where our new world champion, double world champion now, Emerson there, of course he is also going for a lot of records in gold, which I'll try and reel him off in ALR's 200th Grand Prix race next week in Russia, and that is of course on Sunday night. We're going to have a big old celebration of racing, which is basically what we do here on ALR. Is that really, if you just joined us and wonder what this is all about, we are a esports channel, and we do a lot of Formula 1, believe it or not, which is good stuff indeed. Hopefully we do some podcasts and stuff like that in the near future as well. Of course, if you're interested in doing a podcast and all that, send it into the website and all that kind of stuff if you can, or whatever you want to do. Of course, I'll give the admins a good old picture as well, but remember that's probably for more down the line then, of course, that we got to walk before we can run, and Curly is sliding before he finished his lap. He is 5th fastest out on a 35.7, a 10th of a second away at the moment. We got Bradfield coming over the Anderson Bridge as well. We've also got Gorilla, who's making his debut tonight, if I'm not very much mistaken, in the AlphaTauri, and he is 4 tenths of a second away from his teammate at the moment, so that's a very good fist of things actually. Gordo is going for a second time run as well. Here comes young Tommy out of turn 21, I think. Then he's keeping a lot of the outside the curves, outside curve there, or the course there. He's 6th fast then again, so taking a lot of inside there. I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest, but there we go. It's Monday, isn't it? I have to have a lot of caffeine to get through Mondays. Gordo is 4th fast at the moment, 6 tenths of a second away from Kimi, who I gotta say, Kimi's had a great opening lap here. Can I catch Bradfield? Yes, I can. He is also 4th fast as well, 2 tenths of a second in front of Gordo. A good time indeed there from Bradfield. We've got a Mercedes there of Jake the Slayer just starting his lap. Then, so keep an eye to see what Slayer could do. Got Gorilla then, who is going for a second bite of cherry, coming down on Raffles at Boulevard as well. And one of the 2 AlphaTauris might be sweating a bit to get out of qualifying one here with just under 8 minutes to go, just over 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I may, but of course, we're still in early doors here in ALR qualifying money. And so let's hope Ayrton can get another win tonight. Also, hope Sean doesn't mess up his numbers again. I laugh out loud, but as I said, that it was not my maths, it was the methodology with us. My excuse, and I'm sticking with it anyway. Unfortunately, that's twice now. Oh my word, there, as Gorilla there kissing the outside wall, which of course that's the Vettel wall, isn't it? As I think it was the 2017 pole position lap that Vettel absolutely nailed, didn't he? And I think that lovely the center T camera. Oh, lovely stuff indeed. Then we sometimes get a very strange camera around here, don't we, in Singapore? And that's one of them there. But Slayer then, who is in the drop zone now, but he had a great race last time. Then he got his first podium of his career in ALR. And he's going from strength to strength now, isn't he? Good stuff indeed there from us there, but he is on the final part of the lap as well, going a bit deep there into 16 and now into 17 as well. I think I got my numbers mixed up as well anyway. Gordo saying that was quite annoying. Formula moments, Ayrton 2 wins in a row. Would love to see it. And Pillar saying there's a 99% chance he will mess up his numbers again. Emma said, yes, there is. We've also got Jonathan saying good luck, Renner. I've already messed up my numbers actually, because I was trying to work out when Troy can win the World Championship, and I think I've messed up already, because I did say Russia at first, which I think is absolute hogwash. But maybe I should think before I should speak. But unfortunately, I can't do that. I can't think and speak at the same time. Nigel then the first ever ALR World Champion. I didn't mess up that night, but then again, there was only 2 races to go, wasn't there? Of course, Nigel, who won the championship with 1 race to go. Emerson is the earliest ALR World Champion in history, along with Glock as well. Where they won it with 6 races to go. So brilliant stuff indeed from both those drivers. Absolutely magical stuff, isn't it? Nigel has gone 4 fastest in the Ferrari as well. Good stuff indeed there for Nigel. A 7-time Grand Prix winner in gold then. And he's also a Grand Prix winner in silver as well now, isn't he? So yes, Nigel is now winning silver and gold. Great stuff indeed. Serge Merchant coming down the back straight. He's also winning silver as well. Here comes a debutant here. And here we're on board now with Canetti. Is that how you say it? I think it is. But Canetti is in turn 18 as well in the Ferrari. Let's see what he can do as well then. He's got car 21 as well. I'm quite envious of that, because that's my favourite number. Tango, hello, good evening, Tango. Sarah saying underprepared for this one, but I hope I still get some points then. Charles, I'm always underprepared for F1. It doesn't matter what I do, I'm always going to be underprepared. Canetti goes in to 7th position and in the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed there. Ayrton's going up for a second by the chair as well. He's gone purple in the second sector. Good stuff indeed there. Far down the back straight. BP is invalidated his time. That's not good, is it, for BP? On board with the racing point as well. I think Ayrton is closer to the finish line. He is indeed. Let's go on board with the newest Grand Prix winner in silver, and it is this man here then, Ayrton, then into the final couple of corners now, and it always run too wide there, Ayrton is, and he's also going to validate the next lap as well. He's going to be kicking himself, isn't he, Ayrton? And yes, he unfortunately exploited the track limits there. Cheers Russian there for a lovely helmet. So I think that's the same helmet that we had on Troy's car last week, didn't we? I love that helmet design. That's fantastic. But Sirius Mushroom now is 12th fast at the moment. Now he's 2/10 of a second away from his teammate. I think the Sirius Mushroom will be a bit disappointed at that. Here comes Paula coming down Raffles Boulevard as well in the racing point then. He is in the second sector now. BP is going for second by the chair. Here comes Billet as well. We're staying with Far for the minute. And we've got Dylan saying Curry is looking for the Mars bars when he gets the quote from the insurance. Oh goodness me! I think that I think that there's going to be a lot of insurance claims after this race, isn't there? Goodness me! There'll be a lot of damage on the cars. Like Farf has also got the lovely helmet designs as well. I like those helmet designs. That's great. Farf 8 fast then slots in between the debutant Canetti and Gordo then. So Farf in 8th position on the road. He'll be fairly happy with that then, with 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I wonder if you might have to feel like you go for a second bite of cherry then. Here's Billet then. He had a great race last time as well, didn't he, Billet then? I think that Billet's one of those drivers that really loves chaos, doesn't he? Because he very much strikes it whereas when there's that chaos in the air. He did it in Monaco. He's done it in Italy as well. On this race, I think it's going to be another race where Billet is going to be very much aiming for points, I feel. Here comes car 69 then, out of turn 21 as well. Now as he comes in to 22 and 23. 23 turns on this course. Billet is done a 37.8 around this very long track. This one is, isn't it? About 5 kilometers long, or 3.1 miles if you want to get European about this. BP then is into the final party lap as well. Accelerates away then, not getting too close to the Vettel wall then, into 22 and 23 as well. That 22 and 23 is quite a perilous turn there, but BP goes at 4 fast and still not Grand Prix winner in ALR Silver, which I'm quite surprised by, because when BP made his debut a couple of races ago, almost this is his 8th Grand Prix now, goodness me, I was expecting BP to be very much in the sharp end of the field, but that hasn't transpired yet, and I absolutely love it. No disrespect to BP, because I think he's absolutely an amazing driver now, really is indeed then, but I think it shows how good the silver division is, really, isn't it? Because I do hope BP as well. I think he's one of the fastest drivers ever commentated on. But silver, goodness me, they're just as quick as BP. I absolutely love it. Fantastic stuff indeed. Anyway, let me quickly catch up with the comments then. We got Liam saying £10 on Bulky over 3.5 comments about COBALT, please. We've also got Gordo as well saying that was yellow wing damage and 7% worn tires, and good stuff indeed there from Gordo. 0 practice for tonight. Hopefully I'll get any points at all then. Jacka Racing, hello Jacka then, of course. Well, Paul is in the pits. Welcome, Jack Racing. I hope I think that this might be the first race you've commented on there. Hello. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast there, and of course I like your opinions and views about what's occurring as well. I'm saying how many times is it still saying that how my time is still staying there? I'll never know. Then I think that Becca's very happy with her second position at the moment. Now, is that she is the first driver into the 35s, as Troy is the driver into the 34s. We got Wilson, good evening Jake. We've also got Cordo saying, I don't think I'm safe, but I don't want to use another set of tires. Vintage saying Wilson needs to get out on track. Laugh out loud. Then is Slayer saying 5 minutes practice low. Nearly went out when we went out and caused when we went out because of it. So sorry, I got to get my teeth in, haven't I, tonight. Here comes Wilson, who has got 1 minute to go then, so very much pressure is on. Oh, look at this, we got the chase cam. Does anyone race with this chase cam around here or anywhere? I've got to say, I used to race with this on the Formula 1 95 and 97 then, but the 97 one was a bit more looking down the car. But yeah, that's a very interesting camera angle, but I don't want that at all. There we go, that's much better. Yeah, so we had a bit of the chase cam there. Lovely stuff, wasn't it? Now we've got Wilson there, who's there's an AlphaTauri in front of us there. It's one of the AlphaTauris, but I couldn't tell who. I've seen a flash of yellow then, so when I see a flash of yellow, I automatically think it's Ayrton. So I hope that's Ayrton then, as he does pull out of the way as well. For the race, put both, the AlphaTauri driver and the AlphaTauris are both 15th and 16th at the moment, as Curly has had a much better fist of things. He is now in second fast, and Wilson's also gone 8th fast as well. That's a good time now from Wilson. He's pushed both AlphaTauris very much in trouble now with half a minute to go then, and it is a Gorilla, not Ayrton now, so I'm absolutely disgusted with myself. Here comes Ayrton now, as Ayrton's got 22 seconds then. It's all or nothing now for the AlphaTauri driver. Let's see what his teammate Gorilla can do now, as he is going over the brow of the hill then before he comes down the back straight. There is 3 DRS zones around this circuit. We'll have a look at in just a few moments. Serious Musher forgot to take fuel out of the car, OMG then. Well, at least someone put fuel in your car, Serious Musher, because unfortunately Felipe Massa had that problem in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Was it 2007 or 2008? I think it was 2007, wasn't it, where Ferrari forgot to fill him up there on his qualifying. That was pretty embarrassing. And David Coulthard there was very quick to point that out, wasn't he, where he thought it was a conspiracy, which was quite funny, wasn't it? Gorilla then is coming out of the not Singapore thing anymore, which I always get upset when I say it. And there we go then. As Dylan saying Shatters races with a chase cam. I gotta say, you must be very talented to race with a chase cam, because I would absolutely struggle with that. 6 seconds of second up Gorillas in the second intermediate splits on. This is a very good time indeed. Young Tommy's going to be very concerned about this, isn't he? Young Tommy is just coming into the final part of the lap as well. Young Tommy's dropped down further because we've got someone who just jumped up. It was on the AlphaTauris. I think a TK who's just got over the 7 fast. Young Tommy is in a bit of trouble. Serious Mushroom is still in the pits as well. Serious Mushroom might be out of qualifying here. Oh, and Gorilla's invalidated this time. That's a huge blow. And young Tommy has backed out, and I'm not sure if the checker flag going to fall. Oh, goodness me. And young Tommy there is out of final turn, and he needs to get going now. Young Tommy does. Gorilla has one more chance. No, he doesn't. He's out. Young Tommy is also out of qualifying as well. No, he ain't. He's through the road. Unless Ayrton can squeeze out. He has squeezed out. Young Tommy is out of qualifying. That's a turn up for the books, isn't it? Oh, my goodness me. Young Tommy there. Oh, he is going to be devastated. I think that's it. Like, Gorilla was been through as well, I feel, but he's made a mess on his final time running. Gorilla is going to be out of qualifying in his debut here tonight, so what a shame. And young Tommy out of qualifying as well. Both Williamses are down in 15th and 16th. Serious Russia might be able to address the balance there. Young Tommy can't. He's damaged the car as well, and that is a major blow, isn't it, for young Tommy, unfortunately, in the Williams. And he's not going to be too happy with that, is he, young Tommy, in the Williams car? Then that's disappointing way to start the race. But as we've already mentioned, then this is a long race. This one is. This is 31 laps then on a very slow average speed circuit. And of course, we only had 27 laps in this last week, but that was a very fast circuit, wasn't it? This one is a very slow indeed. Then luckily, I have got me a bottle of water with me tonight, then, so I won't perspirate and they won't have to peel me off me floor by the end of it like last night. Goodness me. And also, of course, I had a very nasty wet patch as well at the end of that, so I had to change me britches then. So let's just take a quick look then to see who's out qualifying. Unfortunately, young Tommy's out, and that is a big blow indeed. So he made a mistake on his final lap then, and that's cost him. And I think that's going to be a similar story for Gorilla as well, who is also out of qualifying the AlphaTauri. And he was gaining, he was about half a second up in the second split, Tom. He was I think he was 8/10 of a second up, wasn't he? But out qualifying as well. Murphy was probably playing with his dinosaur there. He is down in 19th position, unfortunately. He is out of qualifying. So those are the 4 drivers out, but I've got to say, there's been no smashes in qualifying 1, but I would hope that we have no crashes in qualifying 2 then. We've got Gordo saying that no way I'll survive. Dylan is saying, oh, Tommy then, there's Tommy saying no chance for me, no confidence and too much pressure there. What a shame there for young Tommy then as well. But Tommy did look pretty quick there, so unfortunately just made a mistake. Otherwise he would have got through, which would have knocked out his teammate Sirius Mushroom there, which would have had some serious consequences. I have no doubt about that. Wilson saying go back to automatic for tonight then. Gone back to automatic for tonight then. Don't worry, as God is saying, don't worry, there's always the race then. Tommy, take it easy at the start and see what happens later. You've got it in you then. Yes, that is very wise words there from both Gordo and Wilson there. Wilson also mentioned about him going back to the automatic gears then. Of course, Wilson does drive with manual gears, which I got to say is absolutely fantastic. Whoever drives with manual gears is absolutely amazing stuff. I struggle to turn left and right then. My brain can't even fathom using gears and all that kind of jazz. I struggle to turn the DRS on the straight as well. Oh dear. Of course, there you go. All about multitasking and that kind of stuff. I just struggle to walk and breathe at the same time. But there we go. And also Wilson saying there, and Gordo saying it's a very interesting point actually, because the race is very long, isn't it? And qualifying, you don't get any points, do you? But you will get points in the race. And talking about that, we do have a big Formula 1 announced there'll be 3 sprint races, won't there, this season as well. So qualifying, the standard qualifying format will be on Friday, then the sprint race on Saturday, where you score. It's like just under half the points, isn't it, for the actual feature race or the usual Formula 1 race, and then the Formula 1 races on Sunday as well. Or is it the sprint race where you don't get any points, but that just lines up the grid for it? So to be honest, I should have read about it really, didn't I? I'm not really keen on that side of things, unfortunately. But I'll try anything once. So yes, I do try anything once. And goodness me, I've even tried a bit of fruit before. I almost died. But I'm not really too sure about this sprint race format. But I'm old, and so I don't like changing all that kind of jazz. But let's see how it goes, shall we? Going back then as well, we got Formula 1 saying, I hope I don't spin. I did it twice in my 5-minute practice. And young Tommy saying, thanks lads, don't know what's wrong with me. Ayrton saying, manual gears is a bit too much for me too, Jake. I am sticking, but I'm sticking with it then. No traction is fun here from Jake Dessair. I'll try, you'll try anything once. Oi, oi! Of course, we've got to keep it clean, haven't we, here tonight there? So yes, I meant on Formula 1 and any other kind of gaming as well. In the Gordo, giving it all kinds of welly there through 20 and 21. And let's have a look then with Gordo, who, yes, I was already mentioned that he is my driver of the season for Silver so far. Been absolutely magnificent, honestly. That's a bold claim, isn't it? Because, of course, Cardboy's my driver of the season in gold so far, which makes absolutely doesn't mean anything to a lot of drivers, does it? But there you go. I'm just throwing my opinion across. But Cardboy's been magnificently consistent, hasn't he, in gold, and at silver as well. It was a much more difficult claim to make, isn't it? With the likes of Curly having 2 good podiums so far this season, Maldonado getting a first Grand Prix win, Ayrton getting his first Grand Prix win as well. But Troy then also been absolutely amazing, hasn't he, this season? Gamer start off the season so well as well, and a new potato then showing flashes of brilliance. Nigel getting his first Grand Prix win in almost 3 seasons. But I think that Gordo has just been magnificent this season, hasn't he? which is what the point I was trying to get to. He has scored almost in every other race, really. The only race he hasn't scored in is, he only hasn't scored in like 4 or 5 races this season, which is absolutely magnificent for such a competitive field, and that is why Gordo's in the top half of the World Championship, just about consistency alone. I've already mentioned that he should have and could have won at least 2 Grand Prix this season already. He's had a season best, didn't he, of the second position, I think, at the Monaco Grand Prix, didn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed there for Gordo. I'm sure he had another podium somewhere else as well, but there we go. But yeah, he had 5th position last time in Italy, as he chose the wrong tyres, didn't he, at the start of the race, and when we had a glitch in the old lobby there, which we blame Farf, of course, and because Farf is the master of ceremonies. But I think that he was probably there's a Gordo there. It's just slowing down now. So Gordo there is just abandoning his lap then, and he doesn't want to set a time run on those soft tyres. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, of course, Sarah, I think the Paul was off having some lasagna by the looks. So unfortunately, we had a problem with the session there. But so the reason why Gordo didn't want to start on those tyres was because he doesn't want to start on the softs. And why is that? Because if you the actual what am I saying here? The actual strategy around here, I would say, is the medium and hard tyres there. Do not touch the softs at all. But last night we did have a couple of drivers going for soft, didn't we? But I feel that is a serious motion there, getting a bit of a swapper on over the Anderson Bridge there, didn't he? As going down Raffles Boulevard, that Williams there is really strong on the rear end, and it looks like both Williamses are in serious trouble tonight in terms of the handling of their cars. So I think that I'm not sure if it's these cars are meant to be all like all basically the same, aren't they? But I don't think that's ever the case. Of course, we had rumors about the Red Bull being a bit off last season, but in this season, and this I'm getting my excuse in very early for tomorrow. But I wonder if the Williams there is just not liking the Singapore track. Then into the pits now comes Serious Motion now, so he's abandoning that time. Now we've only got 1 time on the board so far, which we've done 5 minutes in this qualifying 2 session. The drivers are not really too keen on throwing the benchmark down, are they, or a competitive benchmark? Because Gordo's done a 40.4, which would have been an absolutely fantastic time for me, but of course. For these drivers here, I don't think that's exactly where they want the benchmark to be, especially on those soft tyres. Then, as now accelerates away there, we have got. Bailey saying the medium runners are hiding then, and we've also got both strategies are close to race each other in a race time then. Is that the soft to the hards then, or medium to the hards then? So that actually might, so maybe I am counting my chickens before they hatch here then. So maybe I'm actually wrong. Well, I'd say maybe I am wrong about the strategy. I normally am. But so perhaps, and that might be interesting. So is Slayer saying that it's going to be the hards to the softs and the mediums to the hard tires? Is that the equal strategy then? Or is there another strategy which I haven't even thought about, which could also be quite possible indeed then? Because I wonder, is 2-stop strategies going to be a way to go around here? That is the beauty about this qualifying format at the moment, isn't it? You're not also thinking about going quick anymore. As Gorilla's left the session now, so hopefully we'll get back in the before the race starts then. We got Strong Moment saying soft, medium, soft, and medium hard, a close head. So yes, he is talking as Kimi goes fast as on a 35 in the Red Bull, and that's the times we was expecting. And Ayrton's also going for the bite of the cherry as well. So Slayer is saying then that he reckons that the 2-stop strategy and the medium to the hard strategy is a very close in terms of race time. And so that is interesting. I didn't even think about that. Hang on, let me get my notepad out. So yes, that is very interesting indeed then. So so I'm wondering who is going to try the soft, medium, soft then. I do prefer more strategies I do prefer more pit stops in the race then. It makes the race a bit more action-packed, if you ask me. As Maldonado, I got to say, the rear end on that Renault feels a bit floaty to me, coming out of the Anderson Bridge as well. Now down the back straight, you've got yellow flags as the teammate there, just having a couple of issues there, or looks like just backing off slightly. Gordon saying, I do not want to start on those softs no matter what then. You see against the AI 2 stops is good, but racing people is very hard to make up time then. Of course, when you're racing against actual people then, I think it's a bit easy to overtake the AI. Well, I can't overtake the AI, unfortunately. It's Maldonado. Unfortunately, I'm having a couple of issues. We've already said, haven't we, about Maldonado. Unfortunately, hasn't scored a point since the Canadian Grand Prix victory there. And unfortunately, Q2 has been to qualifying has been a major sticking point for Maldonado, hasn't it, over the past couple of races there. And once again, looks like she's making life hard for herself and as she comes into the pit set. But let's see then. She's got 7 minutes to rectify that. Ayrton's on circuit as well. As oh goodness me, did he kiss the outside barrier there? I think that was more than a kiss then. And he's out of the final turn then as well. And Ayrton goes second fast on the 36.7 there, just over a second away from Kimi Maitref. Brilliant stuff there from Ayrton as he cuts the corner, as he is not going for another time run that I do not think. Troy over the Anderson Bridge as well. What about Canetti then? And here is Canetti then, the debutant, who I gotta say looking very impressive in qualifying 1. Now what about qualifying 2? He's on the medium tires as well. No one has really gone for a proper lap on the softs just yet. And Canetti Canetti, I've now put a V in his name. Canetti is up into second position now. I really I can't even I'm just appalling. I don't even know why I'm in the commentary, because I can't even say people's names. It's absolutely appalling, isn't it? But anyway, let's continue, shall we? Troy, who I think I've been saying his name right until someone probably tells me off in the comments there, but which I've been saying his name I think exactly the same way since he made his debut. Troy has gone on to a 35.239 now. He is the fastest of the time so far, 4/10 of a second in front of Kimi Maitref. Good stuff indeed. We got Sarah Swiss now go down the back straight, and we've got a Ferrari just getting on the way of Nigel then. Nigel on board now, and BP is just in front of us. There he is, coming down to the Singapore Sling, which is not the Singapore Sling anymore, but I'm absolutely devastated by that. And going into the very tight turn 11 and 12, and lovely centre cam here as we're now going in to looking up the inside right left front tyre there. Left tyre then, not left front right, goodness me. I've got to say, how many left fronts and right fronts are there? There's only one on each side, isn't there? 0-3 in the second sector there for BP. Good stuff indeed. And flying then out of the boulevard there, and coming into the final sector now. BP is, and Paul Favre still in the pits at the moment in his the second Racing Point. And Racing Point, remember, was having an appalling start into their season, didn't they? Which I think was RDW and Diashi there. Unfortunately, they are very skilled drivers. RDW has really shown that, and both drivers have shown that in a cobalt and bronze over the past couple of weeks, haven't they? Ferrari of Nigel goes for full fast as well. Curly is put himself in the third then in the McLaren as well. Good somebody. What about Slayer? Slayer is on the medium tires at the moment, so he's gone for the medium strategy rather than the soft fence, because of course as Slayer was saying in the comments, and that the soft was a very similar race time in terms of the medium hard tire then, which I would prefer two-stop strategy, but there we go. Of course, I do not get everything I want, unfortunately. But let's see if Slayer can get something that he wants now, and he probably would like to get into qualifying 3, wouldn't he? In the Mercedes, the only Mercedes left in this qualifying session is Dan Murphy, who's in for the replacement of ex-gamer. Murphy doesn't like qualifying, does he? As I don't think he doesn't enjoy it by the sounds of it, does he? Or perhaps then he just gets distracted too easily. But whatever the case may be, Murphy is not in qualifying 2, but Slayer is, and gamer there not in this race sense tonight. Then I think that it hasn't pay officially to his championship campaign, but Troyev by the end of tonight, if my math doesn't deceive me, could potentially be he could be over 100 points if things go his way in front of Gamer. If he gets a win tonight, he will be over 100 points in front of Gamer with 6 races to go. We're about 150 points up for grabs. That doesn't include the fast lap signs there, because math is not my foray. Slayer goes 6 fastest and in the Mercedes car, 35.7 there for the Mercedes driver. Sarah Swiss now, it looks like that he's going for another time. No, he's coming back in the pits, and Favre is on the second split. That's the first split time. Welshman is on the second split time, coming down Raffles Rue Favre. Unfortunately, she made a mistake, didn't she, on a first time run? So what about her second time run as well? Remember that corner there last night? The amount of rubber that was coming off of the tires, because everyone was locking up in there. Goodness me, there was so much rubber down there, wasn't it? Good gracious. I bet there was on a lot of grip there at the end of the race. And my word, then Pirelli rubber likes to stick on Pirelli rubber, doesn't it? And then that is what that's when the Pirelli rubber are absolutely happy as Larry. Here comes Maldonado. Is she going to be as happy as Larry? She's 6th fastest, just in front of Slayer by 100th of a second in the Renault. I don't think she's going to be feeling too comfortable there, just in front of Slayer and behind Kimi at the moment. So she might still be in the danger zone, if you ask me. But I don't think anyone did ask me. Favre going over the Anderson Bridge, breaking down into second gear as well. DRS then down Raffles Boulevard, then for Favre. There are 3 DRS zones around this circuit. Of course, on the start finish rate, Favre has gone purple in the second split time. That's a mighty second split time as well, albeit he is a couple of tenths away from his teammate in that second split time. And the second DRS zone is down there in between turn 5 and 7 there. Turn 7 is quite infamous for Hamilton fans there. Favre almost went to the wall there. Kimi has retired the car and he is happy in P5 then, and he's going to put his feet up and get the old newspaper out then. Well, I sound so old-fashioned about that. Maybe I should say get out his mobile device then. As I want to sound a bit clever then. Out of the final turn then for Favre, and Favre goes, he's invalidated his time, Favre has, and Favre is in major trouble then. I don't think he's got enough time to go for another lap then. So Favre has really messed up his qualifying performance there. We're keeping on now. BP has retired from the set as well, but Favre is in major trouble there. The Grand Prix winner from the British Grand Prix is in a major dire straits here tonight, isn't he? And he could be out of qualifying. That's the problem, is that where you're rolling the dice there when you haven't got Lady Luck on your side there, and that is exactly what the case may be for Favre. I don't think he's got enough time. Bradfield has just popped himself in the third pass. He's an expert in qualifying. Bradford he's fantastic to watch in qualifying as well. And we've got Slayer's back in the pits there, so he ain't going to be able to defend his position. Canet is also in trouble as well in the second Ferrari, and so is Cirrus Mushroom as well. Ayrton's back out on circuit, so is Wilson. We've got Gordo and we got TK out as well. Where's Favre? Favre is just coming down the Singapore thing, and I think that Favre may have accepted his fate, unfortunately, and that might be him done and dusted then. As Bulky Volcano has just finished his workout. Lovely stuff indeed there. Gordo saying, I ran a mile for the past 8 days. It is painful. Hats off to you guys. Goodness me. Gordo, rain in 10 minutes. Oh my goodness me. I'm not sure if he meant where he lives or if it means on the game itself. Oh my word. So we're going to have a sprinkling of rain then before the end of the qualifying session, which ruins it a bit, doesn't it? So it looks, but in terms of the pressure cooker, it really ramps it up then for your first and only running qualifying free then. So it's about getting those 1 lap times in then, a bit like old school qualifying when there was that single shot qualifying between 2003 and 5. TK coming under the grandstand as well. Cheers, Russian, don't care if I'm out. I'm not going on soft said. Formula Moment says messed up his run a little, and that's going to cost me TK. That's cost TK. Oh no, and TK's out. Favre is out qualified as well. So is TK. There's some big names going out here. Oh my word then. What about Gordo? Gordo then he would love to get himself into qualifying free as well. But look at that car. He's trying to overtake the front there. The back end. It's not playing, is it? It doesn't want to follow the front. But Gordo goes into 9th fastest there. Mushroom is out of qualifying. Ayrton is 1,000 of a second down there, but he looked like he lost momentum there. Coming down out of Raffles Boulevard then. We're now in to the final part of the lap as well for Wilson then. On board with him then. Hashtag don't trust them. Jeff from Dylan there. Of course, we were talking about the rain then. And now is Wilson out of final turn. Wilson's into the top 10. Ayrton, is he going to spoil them? Is he going to spoil Wilson? Stay there. Look at that there. Ayrton really running against the wall then out of turn 21. Final turn there for Ayrton. And he doesn't improve, and he is 13th on the grid. Wilson sneaks through. And Canet is out of qualifying. TK out of qualifying. And Favre is out of qualifying as well. My word then. And there are some big names and 3 drivers. In fact, 3 of those 5 drivers have won a Grand Prix before. Favre has won a Grand Prix. Ayrton's won a Grand Prix. Sirius Russian's won a Grand Prix as well. TK has been on pole position before in ALR Silver. And it connects I got to say, a very highly regarded rookie here tonight. I got to say, to be 11th on the grid in Silver in Singapore, it's magnificent there from Canet then. Brilliant stuff indeed there for the Ferrari David Todd. Absolutely stellar stuff indeed there. And of course, that also reminds me, happy birthday to FIFA Beefy, who is not in the car tonight, as he is celebrating his birthday. So I hope you get absolutely sloshed, FIFA Beefy, or whatever you're doing. Of course, that's my way of celebrating my birthday. But of course, everyone else has a bit more decorum than me. Anyway, out of qualifying is Favre. He unfortunately he paid the price for not having a banker in the early stage of qualifying. Same with TK as well, down in 14th position. Ayrton in 13th position. 12th position is Sirius Mushroom. Canet in 11th position. Great stuff indeed then, and on this debut as well. Everyone into qualifying free are all on the medium tyres, and so to me, no one is even remotely thinking about the soft tyres, and so it looks like it might be a one-stopper race unless the safety car throws a spanner in the works then. Gordo saying that lap was terrible then. Tommy saying that no mushroom. Bookie saying I'm going to be as fit as a fiddle by the time it's time for COBALT. Wilson saying I'm through 1,000 of a second. Well then, very much nip and tuck is there between himself and the debutant in the Ferrari. Bailey saying no Ayrton touched the wall there. He was looking a bit wary, wasn't he? I'm not sure if I was at 21 or not, but he's getting very close to that wall, isn't he? Goodness me, Ayrton must be very good at limbo. We've also got Gordon saying might be first out, takes pole position there. Formula 1 saying that well done Jake as well as he got through. Emerson, we all know what happens when a hill turn starts P13 in Singapore. Yes, of course that Emerson started P13 in last night's race, and he won the Grand Prix. Now it's his first Driver of the Day award of the season, and believe it or not, that's only his fifth Driver of the Day award in his whole career. In I think 74 race starts, if I'm not very much mistaken. Then, so I've got to say the person who gives out the Driver of the Day awards has not been kind to Emerson over the years, have they? But of course, Emerson, a two-time world champion now of ALR, and he is now officially the most successful driver in the Formula 1 ALR world as well. Good stuff indeed there for Emerson. Double world champion, absolutely dominated this season. I think he's dominated. I feel that in the Formula 1 2020 game as a whole, Emerson has dominated this game, hasn't he? Been pretty magnificent, hasn't he? Similar way to what Granty dominated the 2019 game. Of course, we've got two double world champions now in ALR. We've got Granty, the season 2 and 3 world champion, and now season 4 and 5 is Emerson as well. I quite like having two double world champions now. It's a shame that Granty don't race anymore as well, so I'd love to see them to go head to head next season. But unfortunately that may not be the case. But what I would love to see is two champions on the grid for gold next season, and whether that will be Nigel or not, I do not know. But of course, I would also love to see New Potato up in gold as well, because I feel that New Potato has got a lot of untapped potential, and I was expecting him to breeze up into gold then, but that just shows how incredible silver is then. Even I got to say then, I think that a lot of the chat was that New Potato was going to storm to the silver championship last season, but that was not the case, was it? And the silver championship was very much a story of 4 or 5 halves. We had different chapters all the way through it. This season it's been less complicated of a book, hasn't it? Really, as we've had Gamer who started off the season very well. Now we've had Troy in the mid part then. And lately, then we've had impressive rides here. Driver wins, haven't we? Like Ayrton, like Maldonado. It's been very good stuff indeed. And also Farfis put in a winning performance as well. Gordo is just going on a time run as well. Then we are expecting rain in the next couple of minutes or so. Then, and as Gordo saying, no, but 1100 second, I made it through as well. Very close between at 9th and 11th. And goodness me, absolutely incredible stuff indeed. As Gordo's coming down the back straight, very impressive indeed. Formula 1 saying be medium soft or medium hard then, as we're saying medium soft impossible from Wilson. Oh goodness, I love this challenge strategy then. Keep them coming in, guys, and keep them coming in then, as of course our strategy, I try and shy away from strategy because I absolutely know nothing about strategy. To be honest, I usually come for me personally, what would I do? I'll come in the pits when my wing's hanging off. That's probably my strategy. Over the Anderson brace then for Gordon, then there's before break it down. It's a horrible left-hander here, isn't it? Now on the left-hand side, we had a spectator walking across the track. Then I think he just wanted to get a closer view of the cars. Then didn't he? As I remember saying Vettel going over the radio saying "man on track." Then as he was on course. So I think it was not his second or third win for the Ferrari team in 2015. I think it was, wasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken there. Yeah, very interesting when spectators come onto the tracks as well. I think that it was 2000 Hockenheim, was it, where there was a very disgruntled Mercedes-Benz employee that really stormed the German Grand Prix in 2000, didn't he? And they brought out the safety car. We'll come back to that in a minute because Gordo is about to go fast there. He's done a 34.7, 3.8 then. Good time then, starts off there. What about BP? Out of the final turn as well for BP. He's done a 35.006 then. Good time then. What about Troy, final turn, pole position there by 0.4 of a second. Great time indeed then. What about Wilson? Here comes, Slayer, I should say, then there's 2 Jakes, isn't there? Oh, but he's invalidated this time then. And Maldonado is back in the pits. Is that going to be costly for Maldonado then? What about the 2 McLarens there? Both of them looking very strong tonight, and they need a hatful of points as well, don't they, in the McLaren team? And we got Bradfield then into the final couple of corners as well. He's so quick in qualifying trim, isn't he, Bradfield? My word, he is absolutely as quick as a ferret. Out of the final turn then, and let's see what Bradfield do. Second fast there. Oh my word, then just over a tenth of a second away from Troy in the McLaren. Very impressive stuff indeed then. Wilson's invalidated his time. He's going to go for a second bite of cherry. No, he isn't. He's abandoned his time coming to the pits then. What about Kimi out of the front? He's also invalidated as well, but he is going for a second time. Nigel's about to finish this up there, but what about Curly? He is on a quick lap as well. Look at how much company he's got on the final turn. And McLaren are second and third then. That's a very good fist of things there. And yes, and Andreas Seidel's going to be absolutely beside himself there with McLaren second and third then as we approach in the end game here in qualifying. And Nigel might be able to sneak a cheeky old slipstream there from that Red Bull. Of course, he doesn't want to be too close to that Red Bull because the dirt here around here, as of every circuit, apart from, I would say, yellow flagging free, apart from probably Belgium and Italy, whereas the last two Grand Prix we've got been to, I've got to say the slipstream is probably not the ideal choice around here, is it? We've also got just Wednesday so many in the 35.7s. I should have been more aggressive, but hey ho, chin up Tommy lad, you got this. No need for nerves. And Kimi coming over the Anderson Bridge as well. Thanks Mushroom will do my best for the Williams team. And I think that this track is a very I gotta say I do absolutely understand Tommy's nervousness around here then, because it is brutal, isn't it? It's the toughest track on the calendar, isn't it, bar Monaco, or is it tougher than Monaco, which is basically the same sentence actually, or is Monaco tougher, I should say. I gotta say I think that Monaco is tougher. I'm not sure really, because both of them need so much concentration. But you need more. But this track, you need much more concentration in terms of time, don't you? As this race is going to be nudged on 50 minutes to an hour. Kimi out of the final turn, he goes fifth fastest. What about Nigel? He goes fourth fastest in the second Ferrari, and he is on the second row of the grid then. And Kimi there is in the sixth position as well there, as he just goes across turn one. So I've got Martin to go for a second bite of cherry as well, so we're just watching her now. Anyway, yeah, just come back to the old spectator there on track. And of course, we had that in 2015. Of course, the 2001, of course, I think it was just coming out of turn one, wasn't it? Remember, that was the old style Hockenheim ring, wasn't it? Of course, that blast through the trees, wasn't it? My word, that was a car breaker, wasn't it? I know, that was the scene of Rubens Barrichello's first ever Grand Prix win in the Ferrari as well. I think he started 18th on the grid then, so that, that puts Emerson's win to shame, doesn't it? Of course, I joke about that. Of course, it's a lot easier to overtake, isn't it, on the old Hockenheim circuit, isn't it? 18th on the grid as well. I think Frentzen was 17th, because I think rain really affected Frentzen and Barrichello's time, didn't they? And Barrichello was on a auspicious, wasn't he on a free-stop strategy or something like that? And then when the rain came down the end, is that rain? That is rain, and just as I was about to say it, and I was talking about rain with Barrichello, but we need to talk about rain for the Singapore Grand Prix. Maldonado is not going to be looking too happy about this, is she? And this is not also about what it's going to do to the track itself, but what about Maldonado's psyche as well there? And she is going to be seeing the rain pour off of her helmet there, off of the stream and off of her visor now, isn't she? And that is surely going to put her off then. And when it rains heavily around here as well, doesn't it? Because we're near the equator here in Singapore, and so we're going to have stormy conditions just like we have in Malaysia, and we also had a rain affected race in the 2017 Singapore Grand Prix as well. Yellow flags is fluttering. Maldonado's done a free in the second sector there. Also Wilson might be affected by this one as well. Oh goodness gracious me then. And Slayer is first struggling too much at this track then. We've also got Gordon saying going to go out straight away. That wasn't great. Gordo there might have missed the best of track conditions. Actually, he's out there already. I've read that comment way too late then. What about Maldonado then? That first out there might have been crucial in her progression up the grid then. Look at that, a lovely Formula drift here, and she's got a swap run, and she's in the wall, and oh my goodness me, Slayer is being disqualified for pointing the wrong way. Where is he? I can't even see him on the track map. And BP is retired from this session in 7th position now. I don't know where I don't even know where Slayer was there. Goodness me, but Slayer's been disqualified. He's going to start 10th on the grid now for the Singapore Grand Prix, as well as Slayer needs some infights then, so he must have left the session then, and unfortunately because of that then he must have been parked in a opposition then. BP's car is also parked in an opposition as well. Maldonado going to be 8th fast, and so she might be a bit enough, but look, the track track is very wet already there. Wilson is struggling there, isn't he? He's trying to get the traction down on the old tarmac there. Out of the final turn there. Wilson has done a 42.6 there. The track is too wet. Gordo, the arse been a sail then, so it's a monsoon here in Singapore. This is exactly what I was expecting. If it's going to rain in Singapore, it's going to rain heavily. We are close to Malaysia. Remember the 2009 race where we had an absolute deluge, didn't we? And of course that was the last race where we ever had half points, didn't we? And it was Jenson Button there who won his second Grand Prix in a row, and his second Grand Prix for the Braun car as well. I think did we have Glock who was second that day as well? And it was, I think, wasn't Nick Heidfeld in third position in the BMW Sauber? It was a great race, wasn't it? Absolutely magnificent stuff. But unfortunately, only 29 laps of it, so we just got over the half distance. So that was the last time. That was the last time. And of course, I don't think we've had rain since Malaysia, have we? We did have a wet start to the race in 2013 where Fernando Alonso broke his wing on the rear of Vettel's car, and because of that, it basically ended his race, didn't it? Because he didn't come in the pits there. Alonso didn't, and I'm wondering then, oh my goodness me, and Gordo as he's out of the race, he's out qualifying now, Gordo is. And goodness me, and it looks like we're going to have a bit of a traffic jam. All right, yeah, Gordo is his car's going actually, so it wasn't too much damage there. Troy's also retired from the session as well. Bit of an anticlimax again to qualifying, but the bottom line is it's a Renault on pole position. It is Troy on pole position then for the Singapore Grand Prix. This is fourth pole position of the season for Troy. Magnificent stuff indeed there, and that is also his fourth pole position of his career as well. So well done to Troy in the Renault team then. For the Renault team, the other Renault of Maldonado then is down in 8th position there. But I gotta say that Renault car probably is built quite strong after her horrific pirouette in the Parabolica in the Italian Grand Prix. But she is coming back into the pits now in 8th position. Look at that. We've only had rain for a couple of minutes, and the track is absolutely saturated, isn't it? We are not expecting any rain for the race itself. Oh no, and oh dear, she's done a David Coulthard, but luckily she didn't damage the car then, but unfortunately she's gone into the pit wall. Don't worry about that, Becca, though, because I think Farf has been in the pit entrance wall as well, in a much more easier pit wall as well. I think it was the Australian Grand Prix where Farf crashed there on pre-season a couple of seasons ago then. Anyway, that is the end of qualifying. Well, we've got a Renault and a McLaren on the front row. Goodness me, back to the future. We're back to 2005. It's Troy on pole position then for the fourth time in his career, and look at that then. Look at how wet the car is there. The Renault already then. That's only a sprinkling of rain then as well. And I've got to say, if the rain was going to be like that in the race, and I was expecting wet tyres by the end of after a couple of laps there. Troy on pole position now with Bradfield alongside. Curdy back at the sharp end of the field. Good stuff indeed then. Can Bradfield get a strong race then after that? And he's near the drop zone, isn't he? Bradfield is. He's being sucked in, sucked into that drop zone. He's about 14 points away for it. He doesn't want to stay there, does he? Curly in third position now. Nigel in fourth position there with Gordo fifth, Kimi in sixth position, BP seventh, Maldonado eighth, Wilson ninth, and Wilson got disqualified in 10th position. Let me just quickly get on the comments then before we get into the race itself. Gordo, yeah, my rear tyre went then. As they've only just come through. I think those are the invites as well, but unfortunately Slayer was disqualified anyway. That came down so heavy it did, wasn't it? It was an absolute deluge there, wasn't it? And it was a game in there as well, therefore Slowdown, so he's going to be absolutely apoplectic, isn't he, with Codemasters there, as Gordo couldn't turn as well. Down this game there from young Tommy, as Dylan said, ooh, Becca, then I think that he's seen that Becca had a problem with the wall there. For the moment, if I hadn't been disqualified, I failed my first lap, I still would have been an eighth. I don't know why it doesn't return to the garage there. It does on some instances there, but it decided it didn't do it for Slayer there, did it? So the game was not very charitable, was it? Was it on that occasion? Becca, as Marlon was saying, yep, that wasn't meant to happen there as well. Of course, also pointed the Nightbot as well. Good stuff indeed then. That's a cool new feature then, which is, well, it's not a new feature. It's been going on for a couple of races now, but you haven't really said much about it then. So good stuff indeed then to our YouTube master team then as well. Great stuff. We have Slayer is quite annoyed by that. That lap from me wasn't great then, but it's fifth position nonetheless, isn't it? Starting between Maldonado and Slayer, would rather be last then. So oh dear. So Wilson there is going to be a bit concerned, I think, as his compatriots are 8th and 10th position. I think that so Wilson might be a bit nervous about what's going to be going on in this Grand Prix. And are just now on board then with Gordo. It's just taking a look then as if we've got a couple of errors going on next, let's say maybe restarts and stuff. I haven't been looking at the screen reader. I've been talking. I've been actually reading the comments then as well, as we've got a error for Gordo, and that's not good at all. Hopefully Gordo can get back in. I've got the squad for a game error there. I've got to say maybe a restart. I don't know. Then there's a typical Cody's as well from Kimmy also having not looking too amused there with the emojis as well. I'm getting back in. Good somebody that need to make it before the formation up as well, because Gordo is in 5th position. Whilst Gordo gets back in, luckily it's a very long circuit to get around then. Let's go for the grid show from front to back then. Pole position is Troy then. That's his 4th pole position of his career and of the season as well, as we've already mentioned in the qualifying show of how great he's been this season. Bradfield alongside him on row 1. Bradfield seems to have great qualifying pace, but it doesn't go too well in the race, does it? Fingers crossed for both McLarens then. Can they do something special around here tonight? Nigel, of course, he won the Belgian Grand Prix a couple of 2 races ago then. He'll have to be back on that podium once again, won't he? Gordo in 5th position there. He's still not in his car at the moment, is he? We're fingers crossed for Gordo in 5th position there. Kimmy in 6th position there. BP is 7th in the racing point. Maldonado is 8th, and with Wilson in 9th and Slayer in 10th position there. Canetti in 11th position there, making his debut in the Ferrari. 12th position is Cirrus Mushroom then. Ayrton in 13th position there on the medium tires, and 2 in front are on the hard tires, and these are all can choose whatever tires they want. So they've got fresh set of hard tires here then for most of the back end of the field then, apart from Ayrton, Gorilla and Billet as well. TK in 14th position, Favre in 15th on the hard tires. Young Tommy hard tires in 16th as well then. We have got Gorilla, who is not come back in the session by the looks then, in 17th position. Billet in 18th. 19th is Murphy. 19 cars on this circuit then, as Troy is really warming up the cars, giving that Renault going through its pace as well. Oh no, Kimmy is saying that my bot is going to start us all. That is such a shame then. As Gordo is saying that it doesn't let me take control then as well. That is not good then. As Dylan is saying you can't take control in the formation lap. Oh goodness me then. It is just absolutely heart-wrenching for the 3rd row of the field. There they are. Who've had a great qualifying, and it's already tragedy before you even got off to a start here in Singapore. Oh goodness me. Gordo is, oh what a shame there for Gordo, because once again he's shown that he's got good pace around here, so he's going to have a lot of work to do, isn't he? All right, Troy is lining up on a pole position then for the Singapore Grand Prix. On board with Murphy, this is the first time I've seen Murphy. Goodness me, he's the man in black tonight, isn't he? Oh my word! Someone call MIB as he is coming onto the back of the grid as well. There's a Bullet just behind us as well. And now then, as Murphy lines up on 19th on the grid, let's hope he nods his head then as well. He's now then line up. Then we've got 19 cars then on the grid then for the Singapore Grand Prix, as Kimmy is on pole position somehow. But there we go. And they're just waiting for those lights to come on then. Those lights are not coming on just yet then. Now they are then, as I don't think the lights are on. Now the revs are building, and here we go then. It's the start of Singapore Grand Prix. It is lights out, and let's go. And Gordo's on a great start. He's moved up into 2nd position. Gordo's flown over through the field then. Nigel is over to 2nd position. There's contact, and Curly is a no-let. His Bradfield has gone around. Gordo and Bradfield have come together on the opening lap, and Bradfield's first and front row star is going. Let's turn into a nightmare here. Curly is fighting, but Gordo goes on the outside and keeps that 3rd position. A magnificent start there for Gordo, absolutely flying through. And look, BP is now on the inside there, on the outside, going into turn 7 there. Turn 7 is not good for Hamilton fans. Oh goodness me, but he's off the circuit there. Is he going to have to get that position back then? I'm not too sure about that then, if he will not then. And look at this, they've got a Renault in the background, and Maldonado and Ayrton also tangling away. BP is now in a 4th position. Curly is not going to be too happy with that. Wilson's up in the 6th position. Good stuff indeed there for Wilson. 3 position there. Slayer is up 3 position as well. Kimmy is down in 2 position there. Welshman is also down in position. Favre is up 4 position. He's took off like a hot knife, like a scored car, hasn't he? Bradfield down at 17 positions. What a shame there for Bradfield. And Ayrton there is really pushing Maldonado coming out of the Anson Bridge there. Maldonado is limping. Why is she limping now? She's got damage there. Oh, Maldonado there once again there. Oh dear, oh dear. She is having an awful run of bad luck in the Renault, isn't she? And I think that is in the last couple of races she has either been out on the first lap or having damage there. What a shame for Maldonado, having a miserable second half of the season, isn't she? On board with Favre as well, as he's threaded his way. He's quite a good starter there, Favre, isn't he? But I'm not sure if he knows that the Renault is carrying damage. Canetti is dropped down 1 position as well in the Ferrari. We're on board as well. Troy is set the fast half of the race, and he's already a second in front of Nigel, and that is absolutely perfect, isn't it? As BP has gone up in the 1st position as well. DRS has not been enabled yet, and so do not worry about that yet, folks. And the only driver in the pits is Maldonado, and also Serge Mushroom in the pits as I'm just waiting for the grid to work itself out. Troy leads then, and look at that. And Nigel in second position. Serge Mushroom also in the pits as well. Gordo is Gordo left for session again then, because he's ghosting at the moment there. And just watching then is BP is all over the back of Gordo, and Slayer has also moved up as well. Goodness me, then there's very much jumping around. Then is there jump up and get down. We got Curly is now going to have to start to defend, isn't he, against Wilson there. Curly is not at the best of starts. Has both McLarens there, second and third on the grid. Are now one is languishing down in 17th position there, whilst the other one is languishing down in 5th, if I'm not very much mistaken, or is it 4th then? Well, Serious Mushroom is leading then, but he's not leading in terms of track, only on the graph then. Lovely shot here from Wilson's rear wing here, lovely stuff indeed then, and going over the Anderson Bridge as well, before accelerating down at Raffles at Boulevard, and Kimi is all over the back of Slayer as well. Ayrton has had a strong start and then on course for some more points then as it has moment, but we're running on lap 3. This is a long race. This one is very much going to go the full way, isn't it, there in terms of the time. Luckily we don't have a time there in ALR, so I could be here until 12 o'clock tonight, but goodness me, I do need a bit of sleep though, especially my beauty sleep. I need at least 23 and a half hours as we got Kimi there all over the back of it. Slayer, isn't he? And Slayer out is just keeping the margin exactly where it needs to be. Kimmy's got the first penalty of the night, and it's not going to be the last. Oh, he's clouted the wall. Oh dear, oh dear. It is he's damaged the car. Kimmy has and he's going wide then. So that is a major problem for the Red Bull team. DRS has now been enabled, so it's a double whammy there, literally and figuratively. He's whammied the wall, and also he has damaged the end play as well. That is not good at all. And Ayrton is now going to be trying to strike it, isn't he? He's now up to 9,000. Is that on board TK, who unfortunately there had mistimed his final run there, didn't he? Invalidated his time, and both him and Farfair couldn't get their second time runs, and then TK is starting to come onto the back there of young Tommy, as Kimi is again on the way. There's been a very he's off the wall, and he's back on the circuit there, and look at this, as a safety car. The car's had to take evasive action there. He's ripped off the front left part of the car, and the Red Bull driver, I'm not sure if he realised he had damage or whatnot, but it looks like he run out wide there, understeered there, hit the wall on the outside. He's been rebounded back onto the inside of the circuit, and he is unfortunately out of the Singapore Grand Prix, and that is going to put a smile on Maldonado's face, not because of Kimi's accident, but because I think the cars are going to be bunched up. Who is going to come in the pits? And there's no soft runners, is there, at the moment? So I don't think anyone is going to be thinking about coming in the pits just yet. Then, so the safety car is a bit early for strategical elements there, isn't there? Kimi saying horrible glitch. The game is trash. Oh dear, sorry about that. Sorry there for Kimi. Then it felt like I'm playing on a 140p there, is it's not looking too good there. Gordo is saying for some reason my tires are like 20% on my front left is on free then, so something's going on with the tire, so with the tire issue as well for Gordo. Gordo was ghosting last time I seen him, but Gordo, is he going to come in the pits? No, he isn't. He's just feigning me, and of course I almost fell for it as well. So safety car's out. Bert Mylander then is just waiting at the exit turn 3. Kimi out of the Grand Prix, then he's caused a safety car in this Grand Prix thus far then, as Kimi also reporting then that there's some major issues, and he was on 23% now. Kimi was as well. I wonder if it's to do with the connection issues or stuff like that, but that is a huge blow, isn't it, for both those drivers into the pits. There is Gorilla is not back in this race yet, and Billet is in the pits then, as the Haas mechanics are about to receive the Haas driver. We've got Bradfield going on to the medium tyres then as well. You still need to come in the pits, and Billet's gone to the hard tyres here then. So this is a very shrewd move for the Haas car here of Billet, and as we already mentioned in qualifying, Billet, this could be a potential major points strike here for Billet then. He just needs to keep his nose clean, doesn't he, in this Grand Prix? Same with Bradfield as well. Bradfield would like to have been thinking about more than oh my goodness me, is Marnoldi trying to get past Bradfield and Bradfield, and look at this, we've got a bit of a race there, but I think the pit lane is now ended, and Marnoldi is going to have to sit behind Bradfield until the safety car comes in at the very least. So Bradfield then near the end of the train now, but Serious Mushroom now is at the end of the train as well then. So in terms of the big winners and losers of the start, then unfortunately Bradfield, Maldonado and Serious Mushroom all down positions there. Up 2 positions, up down 2 positions is Curry as well. Farf has gone up 6 positions there. Young Tommy up 5 positions as well. Look at these sharks. They are surrounding Troy, ain't they? As Nigel would love to take lead. There's Gordo as well, but he's having issues there on one of the front tyres there, isn't he? Gordo is there and wonder what he can do about that. And he's going to have to look after that tyre, isn't he? As that percentage, the wear on it is skyrocketed, hasn't it? That is not good there for Gordo, because this is very much a tyre dependent circuit, isn't it? Oh, goodness me, then. So at the moment, we're on board the Renault Troy. Then Troy hasn't, we mentioned it, didn't we, that Troy hasn't won a Grand Prix since the Austrian Grand Prix back in round 11, and she's 4 rounds ago then. So Troy has only been on the podium once in those 4 Grand Prix as well. So Troy would love to get back on at winning ways tonight. If he wins tonight, though, he will have an over 100-point lead over himself and Gamer then. And of course, and he's really opened up his avenue there to clinch the Silver World Championship as well. And of course, it'll be the second time in 3 years that the Silver World Championship has been decided before the end of the race there. Before the end of the season then. Of course, Glock clinched it the earliest, and now Troy could be the second earliest to clinch it. Troy coming across the line now, so we still have a safety car at the moment. No drivers have come to the pits this time around there. Wilson is dropped back slightly. He ended up to drop more than 10 car lengths behind Curly, otherwise he will get the hurry up and potentially even a 10-second penalty or a 5-second penalty, but he will have to serve that in the pits then before the crew can touch his car, and that includes changing the wheels or anything of that kind. They have to wait 10 seconds. They can't take it after, they have to take it before, because that is in the rules, isn't it? No, it's one of my tyres is massively low, but it's benefiting me. Oh, so Gordo is happy a lot then, so his tyres is massively low, and because of that then, I thought it was his tyre wear. So that's so that might be why Gordo had a fantastic start. He's up in the third position about that. He flew on the outside. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it did get a bit too close, didn't it, with the McLaren? Was it Gordo or was it the Ferrari of Nigel? I can't remember, to be honest. It's only been 5 laps ago, and I've already forgotten that. That's absolutely appalling description of this Grand Prix, isn't it? Hopefully the safety car will be back in as well, because only 2 drivers came into the pits, and that was Billy and Bradfield. Everyone else has stayed out on the circuit, and there's no need to come in the pits, I don't think, now, because you would have lost track position there. Track position around here, I would say, is king, unless you have a big deficit over the car in front, or a big in terms of big deficit in terms of pace, the car in front has over you, then perhaps that might be worth it, but otherwise it's quite difficult to overtake on this circuit. So track position is definitely going to be key in this Grand Prix. Hang on a minute, I've got a frog in my throat. There it is, safety car's in the end of this lap, and that's brilliant stuff. And Bird turns off his lights, and hopefully he can go in the pits there, and we won't see Bird now for the rest of the race. I hope so anyway, as he does cause nothing but mischief, doesn't he, that Bird? Gorilla has left the session there. He left the half-free Q2 then, so I'm not sure if there's connection issues or what for Gorilla, but he is not classified in the Grand Prix at the moment now, so ignore that second AlphaTauri. And AlphaTauri do need points, don't they, in the Constructors, because they are really starting to be detached from the bottom of that Constructors battle, aren't they, unfortunately. Troy then is now going to be the lead car, then he takes over. Look, Byrne is only over there. That safety car is a very impressive car. It's a souped-up GT car, isn't it? But of course, I think some of you GT fans might disagree with me on that one. I don't really know what the safety car is, really, apart from it's a very fast Mercedes car. Anyway, we're back racing now then. And Troy then is now dropped the hammer. He is back racing then, and we're back going again then. And that racing point is going very wide there, wasn't it? But look at this, we are getting very close. Curry's having a look there. He's looking very adventurous, going down into turn 1 there. No dice at the moment now. And BP is locked up then. Curly is looking on the inside. There's also Wilson as well, all over the back of him. And look at this, and there's cars on breath there all over the show in the background as well. That's Canetti and Farfo locking on there. And oh gosh, I've got a squeaky voice now. And then we've got Troy lead, second position, scored furthest BP. I know Curry's dropped off the back now. Then we got Wilson in fifth, second position there, Slayer in seventh. Then we got Ayrton eighth, and Ayrton's got a bit wide. Then Farf in ninth position there. We have got look at the Constantino effect up here. Then is Gorilla and dropping down to the back of the field. Then is, of course, he is not in the race anymore, unfortunately. And a lovely shot here from the helicam here. Absolutely love that. And we're just looking down in Young Tommy, who had a miserable qualifying session. He's not been to 11th position. Only 3/10 of a second away from the point scoring position. And then it's Ayrton. Slayer. It's got a red X over his name now, hasn't he? So Slayer had a bit of issues at the beginning of this race then, and we've got to keep an eye on that one. He's now got 2 retirements in this race, and Gorilla out of the race said he'll have a DNS next to his name, unfortunately. also lost Kimmy as well, who had some major gremlins. And as Wilson has got past Curly. Curly is, oh goodness me, and Slayer's left for session. Curly's got damage there in the McLaren. Oh, Curly there, who's looking very hot tonight, wasn't he? But no, that's a major blow. Look at these steering input he's putting on that McLaren. That is not good at all for Curly. He is going to have to come back in the pits. Ayrton's up in the 7th, magnificent stuff indeed there. And Slayer dropping down the order as he is having connection issues there, Slayer is. That is a big blow indeed then. Ayrton is going to overtake. Is he? Oh, goodness me. No, he isn't there. As Curly coming into the pits there. Now Ayrton there is, might have been wrong foot. He's having a 6th fist now. But Farf is crawling all over the back. Look at this queue. And now we got Canetti having a look on the outside. But Farf keeps his position there. And Farf is the highest of the hard runners here. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. What a shame for Curly. Both McLaren to the back of the field because Bradfield is also in the pits as well. What's happened there? And as Bradfield got damage as well, 3-second penalty for TK. The McLaren mechanics are lining up then. This is a appalling lap for the McLaren team. He was going so well in qualifying. In the race, it's absolutely going appallingly bad. And what a shame there from Bradfield. We got Billett now up in the top of this end, and of course he's the highest of the runners to stop at this stage of proceedings then. So looking very good indeed. Slayer's dropped down into 15th position, but he's back in the session then, which is the most important thing at this stage of proceedings, I feel. Farfen is 5/10 of a second away from Ayrton at the moment in 6th position, and Farf is in 7th position, and Young Tommy down in 9th position, and Murphy is now just 4/10 of a second, half a second away then from points out for the Mercedes team, which is what Mercedes needs then, is they are dropping away from the Renault in both the joint constructors and Young Tommy has now left the session then, and oh goodness me then, as we got a couple of connection issues so far in the Grand Prix, and Young Tommy then is going to be absolutely devastated by this because he was in a strong points scoring position as well. He's up to 9th then, Young Tommy is, and he's dropped out of the points now as well. Internet problems there for Jake the Slayer then, so that's such a shame, but the Slayer should be back in the session, I think anyway. As I've seen him come back in, BP is in the wall just been able. BP has had some issues, has he damaged the car? He hasn't damaged the car, luckily, and Ayrton's gone wide, and Ayrton has lost 2 minutes to the racing point. Ayrton's slowing down. Has he got damage then? I don't think he's got damage, he's just been wrong foot going down into turn 1. And we've got, oh goodness me, it's Billett there. It's Simon through as well, so serious rush up into 12th position as well. Ayrton there is lost a couple of positions there. BP then, I'm not sure on the BP then, I'm not sure, did he spin, or I'm not sure if he spun or whatnot, but he's still got all his pieces on that that racing point, but now then it's Farfist all over the back of BP, going down to turn 7, the infamous turn 7. BP is struggling now. There ain't damage on the car as far as we can see visually, but I'm wondering if he's feeling something on that car. BP is in some major trail difficulties at the moment in that racing point, and now Farf is all over his gearbox as well. And again, Canetti is also up into 7th position as well. And so Canetti and Farf keeping on these two drivers then, because they're going to have the quicker tire towards this Grand Prix. And so I feel that they could potentially be very. It could be in it to win it then potentially later on this race. And so keep an eye on those drivers. This is going to get very interesting indeed. Then Ayrton has recovered then, and he is now down in 8th position now. Unfortunately for Ayrton now, there's I'm going to look on the inside. Dan Murphy is at the moment, but he's keeping at station in the Mercedes. And last season's runner-up Dan is, and of course he's a super sub for this season. And Farf has got a 3-second penalty. We're on board Canetti, the super rookie at the moment now, who's super talented to say the least. And Young Tommy needs an invite. If someone could throw out an invite to Young Tommy, that'd be good then. And unfortunately, Farf at the moment is racing at the moment, isn't he? And so I'm not sure if Farf will be able to send him an invite then. Oh goodness me, that's a big blow for that's a devastating blow for Young Tommy, isn't it? And yeah, that's such a shame. Then right now coming across the grid as well then to start lap 9 of the Grand Prix. BP has found his feet now, so whatever that issue was for BP, he's got himself sorted then, and Serious Russia goes on the inside, passes Biller, and who's that? That's Will's outside, that's Maldonado to get out of it there, as I think the Biller there, who I think Biller just got overtaken there, and I think it's on the wrong part of the track there, and that really wrong foot of Maldonado, and it almost went to the back of the Haas car, and now we've got Slayer all over the back, then TK is left possession now, and what is going on then? Ayrton is in trouble, Ayrton's off, Ayrton's the wrong way round there, and what's going on then? Ayrton Lassie, it's a migraine the host, and what is going on here? Oh goodness me, race done for me, for Young Tommy, and what is occurring? And the session is finished. Ayrton is facing the wrong way, and that is the shortest sailing of Pro Grand Prix I have seen in my entire life then, and Is that over? Is it finished? I don't know. And just taking a look then, and just seeing what is occurring then as well then. But that is not very good, is it? I'm not sure whether it's finished or not. Cause remember, last time I got booted out and I was talking about here, there, and everywhere. But unfortunately, I'm not sure whether that is all the case or not. I've got to get rid of all these blimey Discord notifications and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what is occurring at the moment, but there says everyone's still leaving the session at the moment then. Hang on a minute, guys, then whilst I quickly take a look to see what is occurring then. I hope the race isn't going on then. It might be going on, but the last image you're going to see of the Singapore Grand Prix at this moment in time then is Ayrton facing the wrong way. I'm now in Azerbaijan, so that's good, isn't it? And just taking a look as well. Everyone's been kicked silver. It will be a restart then as for Northsea then, as everyone disconnected as well. So yeah, we were just losing people left, right, and centre. So that was such a shame then. So yeah, we're just now waiting for the invites, and it's going to be a restart, which is a shame really, because we've been 9 laps into this Grand Prix, and another restart, just like in Italy a couple of weeks ago then. So yeah, so all the drivers then had a great start to the race then, like Gordo and etc. As unfortunately that's all been paid in. So the McLarens have a second bite of cherry. I've just seen Curly's message actually, because Curly was saying about that to watch the McLarens fly tonight because they're looking very good. Unfortunately, they looked good in qualifying, didn't they? They didn't look too good in the race, but they might have a second reprieve, and we'll see what we can do then. And goodness me, Maldonado was actually about to report Wilson there as well. Goodness gracious me then, as Wilson was nervous about being about starting around Maldonado and Slayer, but I think that Maldonado, it was the other way around by the looks of things. Oh dear. Right then, it's so unfortunately, we're just gonna have another go. As I got it saying, at least he can gets to take a comfort break then. So that's good stuff indeed. Then as I'm just now waiting for the invites to go out, and then we can go. Now we can go. And then is there has been a request if we can do a 25% race because this may take all night then as well. As Vintage will ask, how would the grid be done? I assume that the grid will probably be done how they qualified. I would presume then, which is a bit unfair, isn't it, on the likes of Gordo, who had a good start for the field as well, and I think that Ayrton, who was up as high as 8th position, wasn't he, at the time before he spun around, and young Tommy was making some good progress as well before he was KO'd out of the session. Had Farf was up into 6th position, wasn't he? So we'll be finding out then. Yeah, so we are restarting the race then. It's Serious Russians asking, what is going on then? I think it is a restart of the race. It's a full 50% race. Vintage saying, Will Bradfield get a reprieve? I think the McLaren team will get a reprieve then. Good stuff. Hang on, I've got to quickly find myself. So yeah, Bradfield will get a reprieve, and I think the two McLarens will as well. Just keep me on the Discord just to keep you guys up to date then. And yes, it was lap 9, wasn't it? So it was lap 9 then where it all disconnected then. Just taking a look to see what the admins are going to decide on that. Luckily I am not in the I'm not in the admins to worry about this. Also, a quick update on the football skills. Crystal Palace are leading Leicester 1-0. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then Wilfred Zaha on the 12th minute. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Absolutely love that. Of course, as I've been a Liverpool fan, albeit I'm a bit disappointed to say that, but there we go. Bullet saying I'm so disappointed because I was in a good position and I don't need to box there. Yeah, Bullet was actually did a great job as well. He was at the 12th position. He came in the pits there on that safety car, didn't he? Threw on the hard tires, and Billet was going to go straight to the end of those hard tires. They would have been worn hard tires, but they still would have got to the end anyway, wouldn't they? And good somebody there. Serious Russian saying Ayrton broke my wing. Oh goodness me! So it looks like Ayrton has been in a bit of mischief with the old Williams there. Kimmy's asking, can I come back in then? Yes, come back in, my good man. Hopefully you get a invite from Favre. And hopefully they will. Hopefully you'll get an invite from Farfen as a player saying, did it break your heart as well, Serious then? And to be honest, it might have actually, because because I thought Serious Russian probably got on very well the Hiltons up until today. Then, so I think we might have a bit of a war of words towards the end of the session tonight, which is absolutely good stuff for me. I love a bit of drama. That's why I'm a big old EastEnders fan. Then, albeit I haven't watched it since that ginger guy, was it Bradfield? Bradfield? I don't think think Bradfield did, yeah. Well, it was Bradley, wasn't it? That fell off the roof of the Queen Vic, wasn't it, or something like that? I'm not too sure. There you go. That was the last time I watched it. So there we go. You can tell that I keep up with all the gossip on the Oda soaps. I'm sure that was about 10 years ago, was there, or something like that? Oh my word! And so anyone who's just joined us, apologies. We got a break in the race. Then it isn't a weather break. It isn't a weather break. It is, which we might have had in some sports like cricket and all that kind of stuff. It is a mass disconnection. Firefacer just put a poll in whether he wants a lap 9 and 25 lap 9 positions and 25% race, 25% race, or full race. We looks like we're going for the full 25% race as well, and just going from there as well. We might have someone of unfortunately, I think Kentiv of the Ferrari driver might not be able to make this one, which is a huge shame indeed. Then that it really is. That as far as asking Silver to pick quickly, Bradfield of course wants the full race to resume, because of course both McLaren's errors facing the wrong way. As Martin Honda also wants the full one as well. But yeah, we do. We're just waiting for a restart as well. Yeah, we are just trying to get a vote on the go then as well. So it looks like we've got 9 thumbs up for the 25% race, which is about half. So if I was the admins, I'll go with that. But anyway, let's go back to the old chat, shall we? On the old where are we? Well, I think we're in YouTube land, didn't we? Good stuff indeed. Then. So as just taking a look then, as saying it's fine. Emerson broke mine last night as well. Yeah, of course, Emerson did win the race last night. That was his 10th Grand Prix win of his season. Magnificent season Emerson's having, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed. He's been very much cutthroat, hasn't he? And of course Pillar's on verge of winning his first Grand Prix, but that extra 3-second penalty towards the end was very much costing his first race win, but he did go on the podium, his first podium in his goal career. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And Buggy asking, how do you think I'll do on Wednesday, Sean? Any predictions then? Well, of course you did very well in Hungary, didn't you, my good man down there? You were very, and of course this is well, it's not a similar track to Hungary, is it? But it's they can be very much point and square, albeit it depends on how you feel around the street circuits. Bulky. Personally, I hate street circuits, and so sooner Tuesday's done, the better for me. I think I'll be happy when 10 o'clock comes along, go to bed. So it's Russia. It's all good. Last race, and then and don't forget setups as well. And don't forget setups as well. Yep, keep remembering about the setups. That is all good stuff indeed. Then, and Gurman has liked us on. I think Gurman's liked us on the old Twitter. I didn't know Gurman had Twitter, and so that's great. So I've got to remember his name. Absolutely brilliant stuff, Ben. Nigel, 50 or 25% now. They are voting in. They're voting in Discord. Nigel, at the moment is 8 votes to 0 for 25% race, and the starter positions as it was on lap number 9. Then, so I'm just waiting to see whether that's going to be or not then. And as we're just waiting, only 10 has voted then. Just take a look then as well then. So it's a 25% race then, and from 9 positions, so a couple of people are going to be a bit disappointed about that. Unfortunately, we've only had 9 votes to 2 at the moment, so that's it then. So I'm keeping an eye on the on what's occurring then, and see, keep an eye on that then. So yeah, I think it's going to be a 25% race as well. So apologies by this guy's review is expecting a bit of action here tonight. Then, well, at the moment we've got a bit of a delay as we got a session issue. We're going to go with 25% then. New race as well. I'm just taking a look to see what tires everyone's going to go on. I presume that you probably have to go on the tires that you was on before the session crashed out then. Or you perhaps could do what they do in the real world of Formula 1, having a race restart, then you could do whatever you want to the car, perhaps, then, which might be a interesting strategy. Then that's probably what I'll do. But there you go. I think it's very interesting indeed, isn't it? But hopefully we'll see how that one goes. Yes, Codemaster just had an update, which is a very good point indeed there from BEP. Then. Very good point of detail as well. So as Gurman A there with a good old wavy hand there as well. It's a wavy emoji, isn't it? My stream keeps pausing, which is really annoying actually. So there we go, I'm back live. Bog is saying I like Baku, so I should like Singapore as well. Serious Mushroom 50% then. Oh goodness me. Serious Mushroom might be. Is it at 50% as the race, or is that 50% is what he wants, or is that 50% as it's been set in stone? Personally, I would like to do 25% now. As I got to say, the first first 9 laps was quite intriguing, wasn't it? And it would be quite unfair, wouldn't it, for the drivers who've done a great start to the race, and unfortunately, losing all those positions and going back to a full restart. In the real world of Formula One, of course, if they're in a red flag within the first 2-3 laps, I think, or is it the end of the first lap? I think it's the first 2 laps, isn't it? Then, of course, there's a full race restart. And then, of course, a red flag after that, then it is a positions as you were there, and they start beyond the safety car, or they start from the grid slot again, like they did in Mugello and places like that, then, of course. And so, yep, I'll keep an eye on that then. The update is taking forever to copy then, as Slayer is saying what happened at the moment. And we got an issue there of a mass disconnect. Is everyone disconnected on lap 9? I think we are going to be doing a 25% race there, if I'm not very much mistaken. Just taking a quick look now, as Farf is still on 50% there, but I think that I'm not sure if they're still voting or whatnot, but hopefully they're going to move on, because you don't want to hear about me all evening, do you? You want to get some racing on the go, don't you? And so do I indeed. And I also really want to wet my whistle because unfortunately, I forgot to take a big gulp before we got onto it. Formula Moment saying that 25% it has to be. This should be spicy as well there from Gordo. I'm leaning towards the 25%. Or it's a shame you couldn't have something in between, really, because it's a shame you couldn't start from lap 9 or something, like an actual red flag kind of thing, and carry on the race from there. That would be the ideal situation, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, maybe I am asking, or maybe I'm asking too much there. Bulky, are we talking or we're talking, or we talking, or are we racing then? Well, at the moment I'm talking, because we've got no racing going on, and that's what I am paid to do with a Mars bar. Well, Milky Way I had last night. I'm hoping to get a jewel pack tonight. 35% I want there from Gordo. I think that's a very good shout, actually. I think it's a shame, because on some of the older F1 games you could have, I think it was the first ever F1 game, you could actually pick and choose what exact percentage you want. So you could have 0% all the way up to 100% kind of thing. But I think that's probably a bit too extreme then. Serious Mushrooms asking, tell us about you, Sean. How have I been then? They have us as a special feature for esports, so make it public. Oh, do they? That's a very good point then. I don't know much about esports really, apart from ALR. I kind of all I care about is ALR really. There we go. I'm a selfish human being. How have I been? And you don't want to hear about me, do you guys? Oh, good gosh. How have I been? I've been all right. I've been doing a lot of gifting today, mainly because I was getting told off at work for not paying attention, so I was on Discord sending everyone gifts about race week and stuff, which Mercedes copied, didn't they, from the Ferrari? So there you go. I haven't learned my lesson, but there you go. Do not do what I do, of course, because I think sooner or later I'm very much going to get a slap across the face, and Slayer was saying had a great start to the race. Becca and the others got damaged on P10 to P7, then the internet issues, then more for Slayer, unfortunately, then as well. But so we got 18 drivers in there. Hopefully we'll be getting going in a minute. Just taking a quick look to see what's occurring, and we're still on 50% race distance. Let me quickly go back into the Discord and see if anything has materialized since then. Just taking a quick look to see about the votes, and the votes are still 92 unless there's a new vote. Unless there's a new vote, and just taking a look then. At the moment, it is, I think it is still 25% then. And yes, and there's any strategy as well there from Farf. So yeah, Farf is the ringleader tonight, and he is the ringmaster, and he is, and what he says go then. So yeah, I think it's still 25% race. Any strategy you want then, similar to Formula One in the real world, where you could do whatever you want. Now the race has started, you're out of park for a minute, you can do whatever you want to the car, you can amend the setups, you can choose whatever tires you want to be on, and you go from there then. With 25% racing though, I'm wondering how the drivers are going to do. Personally, if it was me, I'll be absolutely lost at sea. I mean, does the tire still have the same wear life, does it? Or does the game factor in as a 25% race now? Can the hard tires go for a whole 25% race? I need answers, guys. I need answers. Serious mention, did you no, it's just called a GIF, not GIF. Oh, it's called GIF. I thought that was a bleach that you used to use on bathrooms and stuff. I got to say, I got this amazing Sillet Bang at the moment, absolutely fantastic stuff. You just you just spray your old just spray this black stuff. I think it's like gets rid of mold and stuff. Just spray the black stuff on it, no scrubbing, and it's gone within 10 minutes. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. I would like to get a sponsorship with Sillet Band because I'll give them rave reviews every time if I could. Unfortunately, I'm too lazy to do so, but yeah, good product. I do recommend that. Just getting a look. Gordo saying I forgot tires last week. What are we saying this week? Setups, the actual tires itself, my car. Well, Gordo, to be honest, Gordo, by the looks then, it is it's I think the Favre said something in the old Discord. I'm sure he said that it is a free-for-all kind of thing, so you can choose whatever tires you want then. So just want to say, don't forget setups. But saying, OMG, this race is horrible. It is horrible. It is horrible because you have to listen to me now whilst just staring at the Singapore track map. At least Bronze and COBALT drivers would know. Well, I hope you know the layout anyway, really. But of course, if you're new to ALR and new to Formula as well, there's the Singapore track there, just right in front of us as well. Gordo saying, I think it simulates 50%, so I could do softs, mediums, easy, I believe. Then, oh, interesting. Then, so we've talking about the soft tires is not the way to go on 50% race, but with 25% race in the bag now, this is going to get very good indeed. I am sitting forward, and I'm looking forward to this one. Then, so yes, we got 18 drivers ready to get going once again for Singapore. We've had a dropout, unfortunately. 25% race. It is free for all now. Our park firm, mate. You can choose whatever tires you want. You can choose whatever setup you want. Then, so this is more of a sprint race. We're going to have a preview of what Formula wants to do for free Grand Prix, perhaps as well. So Silver, unfortunately, on a couple of gremlins tonight. Oh, apologies, guys, but hopefully we'll go with it. Billet saying, yeah, I can end with hard tires and win the race then from Billet as well. I think Billet is that's a shame for Billet, I would say, because I think that Billet would have been on course at some points there as well. I said in qualifying to keep an eye on for Billet, and because this can be a very strange race indeed. There, thank you all for sticking with us as well tonight, guys. Apologies about the delays and stuff, Ben. We blame Favre as I think he must get his internet off a potato or perhaps something like that. But he does host the Gold, so I think it's just Monday night then for Farfen. Maybe he needs to. I think it might be his party time on Monday. Perhaps I do not know. Yeah, we're just loading into the session. Well, the cars are out on track then, so this is a 25% race. What's 25% of 30? What? 15? 16? Something like that. I think. Then what tires is everyone going to choose? That is the question, isn't it? We'll have a look at it. We'll have a look at it as well. And the drivers are out and circling as well. We're going to have a formation up, and then we'll be going again. Then, so this is going to be our second race start of the evening. Both McLarens didn't have a very good getaway on the original start, did they? With Bradfield down near the back, then Curly also having issues as well. So I think that the race positions was from lap 9 then. So I think that the likes of Ayrton, who was facing the wrong way down into turn 7 there, is going to have a reprieve here. And then, unfortunately, and Farf is also going to be very happy as well up in the 6th position. But unfortunately, there'll be other drivers that will be a bit unhappy about this. Right then, now then is the countdown is on then for the start of the Grand Prix. We got 15%, we got to 25% around here. I think it is 16 laps then, if my maths is right. It failed me last night. It's probably going to fail me tonight as well. We got a formation lap, and there is the grid, Dan. That is the grid of how it was in the, that's the grid of how it was in the, it's 15 laps then, of course, before the race was restarted, before the race was, unfortunately, had a mass connection. Let's go for the grid, shall we, of how they were then after lap number 9 then. So, of course, we've cut a couple of laps then off there tonight then, so we're not going to do the full 31 laps tonight, but we are going to do about 24 laps around Singapore, which probably is more than enough for some drivers, isn't it? So Troy is leading the Grand Prix and he's on pole position, but he's going for a second start tonight, and this is not what would have been in the plan then. So how is he going to approach his second start? And he has to approach it like the first then. He is on the medium tyres. We got Nigel in second position. He is on the soft tyres in the Ferrari. Third position is Gordo. He has gone medium along with Wilson in fourth position. The two racing points are 5th and 6th. Farfar's had a storm and drive from 5th to 7th, up to 5th position. And so we got 7th is Canetti, who is back. Great to see Canetti back in the race as well, because he does have a race after this then. So hopefully he can get this one finished. And we're about 9 UK time. He's in 8th position. Ayrton is in 7th position. Ayrton 8th position. He's on the soft tyres in this end, so he, like Nigel, is going to try and make hay with those soft tires. And TK in 9th position. 10th position is Murphy on the medium tires as well. Billet is 11th position. He is also on the medium compound tires. Serious Rusher in 12th position. Welsh Maldonado in 13th in the Renault. Slayer also getting knocked by the chair after technical gremlins as Martis start to this event tonight in 14th. Young Tommy in 15th position in the Williams medium tires. Curly and Bradfield 16th and 17th. The McLaren having a nightmare's first race. What about their second race as well? 16th and 17th. And Kimi in 18th in the Red Bull then. And of course, bit of a preview to the sprint to feature race that Formula 1's going to be hosting 3 times this year as well. So great stuff indeed there. Going to be factored into the unknown here. Good stuff indeed then. Right then, here we go then. As we are now just coming onto the grid as well. So Troy is leading us around. Then Nigel will have the inside into turn 1 on the soft tires. And can he have track position? That is what he's going for, isn't he? Going down into turn 1. So we're going to have a take 2 here tonight. Then Troy would love a win, and he hasn't won since the Austrian Grand Prix 4 races ago. Maldonado and Serious Rusher there have been disqualified there, so I think they're just trying to get that out of their systems before they get going. Troy, this is his once again, and 2 starts in 1 night for Troy. This is not what he wanted, was it, a championship leader? But that is his view going down into turn 1. Kimi lines up 18th on the grid. Only 1 retirement. Well, we had 2, but Kimi had some issues, didn't he? But he gets a second. He gets a second go as well, and have just taken them. We are now waiting for those lights to come on. There they are. We got 3 lights are on then. Now the revs are starting to build up, and we are go for Singapore. It take 2. It's go, go, go. And Troy gets away nicely, and I think he is kept in front of Nigel. He has, but Nigel's got the inside to turn 1 there. Nigel, and Troy is having to back off there. And look at this, and Wilson's on the outside there, but Gordo is not going to have that, and he's back on the inside then. He's getting very touch and go then. This is now a bit of a sprint race, and we've got 15 laps to go in the Grand Prix as we're coming down the back straight as well. Tommy has got past his teammate Canete is now for new 6th position. He is going for the 2 racing points as well. And look at this then. It's going to be 3 abreast. They're going down to turn 7. And incredibly, they're all still got none of their bits has fallen off it. Oh, and Canete just hit the Red Bull of Wilson. And look at this. And Farfis almost got into the wall as well. And Ayrton's on the inside then. And Ayrton always had to back out there because he's had to back out. TK's all over his gearbox as well as we go down to the no longer Singapore Sling as well. And the 2 racing points are somehow still in front of that Ferrari. Somehow incredible stuff indeed. Kimi has gone up into 15th position already as they come over the Anderson Bridge on lap 1. Then of course, if you've just joined us, and yes, we have got a 25% race then rather than a 50% race because of the technical gremlins then with the session. We've had to restart it, so we're now doing 25%. And as we're coming down at Raffles and Boulevard once again then, Nigel's now leading by 1 second then from Troy in second. Gordo in 3rd position. Wilson in 4th, but did Wilson have damage on his car? He hasn't indeed. Favre hasn't either. Goodness me then, I've got to say they had a bit of clout with each other, but they're still it's still all their piece. And Slayer's dropped down into 18th position there. Really struggling, Slayer is. Curly's got up into 50th position now. Passes Kimi, and that is a very opportunistic manoeuvre there from the McLaren driver. Now up into 50th position now. Good some detail. Lap 1 is completed, and Nigel sets a fast lap for the race there. And Ayrton's in the pits then, and oh my goodness me, and Ayrton there, who is on a great race in the first race, has got some major issues. Kimi's also in the pits as well, as is Slayer, so we've got 3 drivers in the pits, and Farf is not leading the race. It is Nigel leading the race then with Troy in second position, and Nigel, this is a sprint race for Nigel at this moment in time then, because he needs to stay well out in front then of Troy as well, but the DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. Gordo in 3rd position there, aiming for another podium there, Gordo is. He's on a fantastic season. Wilson in 4th position, but look at Farfar. He's all over the gearbox of this a Red Bull now, isn't he? And Farfar would love to really strike. He's on a great race, Farfar, isn't he? Great performance so far. Of course, I suppose, going to factor in the driver of the day from both races as well, and so it won't be. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll just be driver of the day from this race. I think we should factor over the 2 races then. Curry's all over the back of Maldonado then, and we're just watching this battle here then between the 2 Welsh esports drivers as well, and 1 driving the Renault, 1 driving the McLaren, and of course they were having good strong starts this season, and they both tailed off a bit lately, haven't they? But Curly was looking very strong in the qualifying session. Unfortunately, it hasn't gone too well since turn 1 of the first race. He's all over the back of Maldonado now. They are only in 13th and 14th position as it stands about then, and there is the pit stop strategy there. We're going to have DRS at the end of the straight as well. Nigel has now been reeled in from Troy as well, so Troy is now within DRS as well. DRS DRS range as well. Curly having a sniff on the inside, but no dice then as Maldonado shuts the door then. Bradfield then and both McLarens now climbing over the back of this rear wing Renault. Maldonado struggling around this circle and into the pits. There comes young Tommy. Young Tommy on the conviction. Maldonado is also in the pits. Well, there's damage on the Renault. There's a lot of damage out there on the cars. There's now the second restart coming down the back straight. And once again, and now the DRS, and it's the first time the DRS will be activated. And already Nigel is trying to defend. Then Troy is coming at him. He's like a steam train, isn't he? Troy is, but catches one thing, past this crow another. As the great Murray Walker used to say, BP is all over the back of his team. He's got on a lunge. He's out of lunge. Oh, stamping on the brakes and forcing far wide. And BP is through and looks up the inside line again. Looks at the inside front again. BP, what a manoeuvre. He's up to fifth position now then. That is crucial in this Grand Prix. And now BP, has he got the pace then to get after Wilson? Because Farf has really lost pace over the last lap or two, hasn't he? And it's Kimi there who's having a nightmare race here in Singapore. He's out of the race there. What a shame there for Kimi. And in the Red Bull, because he was looking strong, in qualifying, but it just hasn't gone too well in the race, has it? As we have just watching Farfed, who is trying to stay on the back of BP, his teammate. His teammate hasn't wandered away too much. And TK in 8th position, and Murphy is just sitting back in 9th position in the Mercedes, and Bullet in a very strong 10th position. Then Serious Merchant just outside the points in 11th. 12th position is Curly, and 13th position is Bradfield. As the McLarens are trying to put that nightmare race one behind them then, and try to go from here then. Of course, remember the 94 Japanese Grand Prix, as that is a corner cut and a half out from TK, so unfortunately he is going to get a 3-second penalty added to his time at the end of the Grand Prix. Remember in the Japanese Grand Prix in 1994 there, where he had aggregate times, that's not going to happen here tonight. It's just going to be the end result of this one. Then I am not going to get me mass out. I don't think Far should either, really, because both of us are absolutely useless at mass, I would say. Well, I'll just speak for myself, really. Far might be an absolute Einstein at mass then, but I'm certainly not. Billet then is in 10th position. Serious Russian couldn't get the job done. Troy is going to get the job done because he's on the inside of Nigel. He is up past Nigel now, and he's through. He takes the lead then, and Nigel's soft tires are looking to be going off already. And now all the medium runners then are all over the back. And look how much they've all concertinaed up then in Nigel. It's really struggling. I think that Gordo and Wilson need to get past pronto, because those racing points are now coming quite a vast rate of knots, aren't they? On board then with the Haas car as well. Nigel slipping inside of there, going over the Anson Bridge as well. Gordo, who has won twice now Grand Prix, but of course he's had penalties, hasn't he, which has cost him the race win. Well, about tonight then, it's third time a charm there for the Haas driver. He is all over the back of the Ferrari. There's Wilson having a look on the inside of Gordo. No dice at the moment then, as they come down Raffles over Boulevard again. And Nigel is harvesting. Look in the background as well. There's Canetti, who is look there. That is the train from first down to 7th position. And this is an incredible train, isn't it? But look, Troy is already 8/10 of a second in front of Nigel, and that gap is just going to get bigger and bigger, especially in the traction zones like here in Sector 3. Look at that then. Troy is just now starting to sprint away as they sprinting away now. And when is Nigel going to come in the pits then? Of course, the same rules apply, though, don't they? You still have to use two types of compounded tyres, don't you? Whether that's the soft or the medium, or the soft bed. Is everyone going to use the hard tyres? Judging from this race, no. Apart from Maldonado, who's on the hard tyres right at the back of the field, but she doesn't have to pit again then. So yes, keep that in mind then. Ayrton is on the medium tyres until the end of the race as well. Ayrton might have to kind of coast at home from there on in, and young Tommy's on the soft, and Slayer also going to have to coast at home as well as we're coming down the back straight. And Gordo is flying, and he's now up in the second position, and he's got it. He is through, and good stuff indeed. Then BP is on the outside. Then BP is low in turn 7, and magnificent on the outside there. Oh, is Wilson almost went to the back of that racing point? It's Nigel struggling. Young Tommy's got a fast on the race, down in 15th position on the soft tyres. Nigel is struggling, isn't he? I think Nigel's trying to go to a sensible out there to try and then go to the soft tyres. Well, look at the lock. Look at the tyres there on the tyre marks on the track as well. That's how much they're locking up here as well. Then, oh my goodness me, BP is really pushing it here, isn't he? And he's really putting the pressure on the former ALR world champion Nigel. And oh, that Ferrari of Canetti is having a bit of a half spin there over the Anderson Bridge. And now BP is having a look. That door's going to close. It's closing, but BP has put his toe in there. But Nigel there has still got the high ground. But BP, oh my goodness me, he's siren up the inside, a very aggressive maneuver. Oh my goodness me. And he's still on the outside. BP's going to have it. He's had it. He's got it. it. Magnificent maneuver. And he is through and up into third position. Well done to BP. That was absolutely stellar stuff indeed. That Nigel is hanging on now for his for the life of those tyres, isn't he? Is he coming in the pits? And he is coming in the pits, and he's had enough of those of the soft rubber. He's in the pits, and I think he's going to throw on the medium tyres now until the end of the Grand Prix. Favre is all over the back of Wilson now, so BP is on a magnificent race up in the third position. Then as we go down turn one, Canetti on his debut, magnificent stuff indeed. Billa is still in front of Cirrus Mushroom. He's got some pace there, Billa has. Bradfield in 11th position. Well, Curly coming into the pits, and he's not done many laps. And has he got a problem, Curly? I said just watching the car then, and he is going for the undercut here, and he's on the hard tyres, Curly. It's until the end of the race then. Oh goodness me! So I wasn't expecting that in this race then. So Curly there. Go for an alternative strategy as well. What an incredible series of laps we've had here in Singapore. Magnificent stuff indeed. That lovely helicam shot as well. Wilson's already out of the DRS range of BP. BP has got the bit between his teeth tonight, hasn't he? He has been saying he's a very quick customer, isn't he? This could be potentially his first Grand Prix win here in his ALR career thus far. But he does have Gordo and Troy, two quick customers in their own right, in a second and a first at the moment. Dan Murphy's got a penalty. That's very unusual for Dan to get a penalty, isn't it? I think he had a penalty last night. He had a couple of penalties last night, though, didn't he, as well, before retiring in the Haas car, unfortunately. Favre in a fifth position at the moment, so we're on board now with Favre. He's won a Grand Prix this season, hasn't he? He's had a great start up till now. He's in fifth position, then what's he going to do then? Is he going to try the undercut? Oh, he's got a 3-second penalty. Favre has as well. He's not going to be too happy about that. Favre isn't. And yes, that is a big shame indeed for Favre Benham, because this is a shortened sprint race kind of thing. Because of that, I think that the penalties are going to be a crucial part of this race. That BP is absolutely flying, isn't he? Magnificent performance there from BP. Of course, he's had flashes of brilliance as in his ALR career thus far. As into the pits, there comes TK. TK is coming to the pits. He's had flashes of brilliance in his ALR career thus far, but I think that can he now get the complete package? Can he now really storm to victory as well? Gordo is going to be very alarmed by how quickly BP is actually caught up to it. BP is flying at this stage of the race. Into the pits comes Cirrus Mushroom and TK as well. Cirrus Mushroom is on the soft tyres now, along with TK until the end of the race. While Curly's gone to the hard tyres. This is a very interesting development now, because I don't think any of the drivers have really practiced for a 25% race, and of course they wouldn't have expected this either. So there's going to be a lot of mix and match in strategies out there. Curly's gone to the hard tyres, while Cirrus Mushroom and TK believes that the soft compound tyre is the way to go. We will find out now. Then we're on lap 7, and we're halfway through the shortened version of Singapore here tonight. Canetti doing a great job in the Ferrari. I'm a big fan of this debutant here tonight in the Ferrari. He is looking very much a really fine racing driver, isn't he? Cirrus Mushroom has just got past Curly, and look, there he is as well. And so Curly though is dropping down the order slightly. And Bradfield's got a penalty as well. We've got 4 drivers with penalties at the moment. Maldonado is in the pits, and she's on a nightmare race. What a shame for Maldonado then. So Billa is it's a Bradfield there, and went a bit wide in turn 15. Now he had the job done, but he just went too wide there, and he lost the position there, unfortunately. So he's back down into the position. Well, he didn't lose the position, he just didn't gain anything, did he? And BP is really putting pressure now, isn't he? Is anyone going to roll the dice here and come in the pits there and go onto the soft tyres now? Or is it too early for the soft set? Well, Cirrus Mushroom and TK and the young Tommy are all on the softs at the moment then. Will they be able to get to the end or not? Curly doesn't seem to think so. He's on the hard tyres now, Curly. He doesn't have the momentum at the moment, but they might be able to swing back in his favour later on in this Grand Prix. BP is locking up the inside right front then, and Wilson is now starting to gain once again. Look, there's Wilson there. Gordo is starting to lose performance. Nigel's at the fast side of the race there on those new medium tyres there. The BP there, of course, couldn't get close enough down into turn 7. That's his favourite. Party Trick is going into turn 8. No, he isn't. And just going wide. But I wonder if that distracted Gordo slightly, because Gordo, oh my word there, look at this. And we've also got a cracking development there between TK and Curly dropping down the order as well. Let's take a look then. Where's Curly? And Curly has dropped down the order, and he's having an almighty scrap between TK and Cirrus Mushroom, both on the soft compound tyres compared to Curly's hard. And again, locking up, going over the Anderson Bridge. My word there. Gotta say, they're not treating these tyres for very much TLC, are they, here tonight? Goodness gracious me then. And look at that, BP absolutely stamping on the brake pedal at the moment then. So the top 9 positions have not come to the pits. Nigel has come to the pits. He is using the undercut here, and he's really He's really catching, isn't he, on the race leaders? But of course, he's got to get those tires to the end. And he's come to the pits quite early on, hasn't he? And where the medium tires get to, oh my goodness me, BP is really flying around here, isn't he? My goodness me, Troy is staying out then, and Gordo was also staying as well. But I think that's Wilson who's going feathering into the pits. He is into the pits then. So Wilson going for the undercut as well. He's going on the soft tires, I think, then till the end of the race. And whether they can do or not, well, it remains to be seen. Then we're on lap 9 out of 15, and this race is flying by. Look at BP. He's all over the gearbox of the Haas car. Look at this. They're fighting. We're on board now with BP. Gordo, there is Troy in the foreground, and the championship leader as well, who's now 4 seconds in front. Nigel's got past, and look at this. And now Gordo is on the inside, so BP is on the outside. BP takes second position, and Gordo down the third then. And yes, BP lined up there. Gordo's now meeting the racing point sandwich, and Farf is going to be on Gordo's next. It's going to be in Gordo's wing mirrors now in the same car, just a different driver. Murphy 3 seconds back from this battle at the moment, as Murphy has stayed out at this stage of proceedings. Slayer then is very close to the back of Bradfield, and very close indeed. Goodness me, so very much nip and tuck then. And there in front is Ayrton, and we've got Curly Red just in front of Ayrton, and TK is about a second in front of Curly. And then Serious Russian there is really putting some time lapse there. Curly has got a 3 second penalty. That's going to be crucial. Slayer has got past it. Bradfield is going on the inside, and Bradfield does not need to be. Oh no, they've come to blows. Oh goodness me. And Bradfield has got no damage at all. Whilst unfortunately took Slayer completely off as a safety car. It's a safety car here in Singapore, and the Slayer is going to be not going to be a very amused, not going to be a very happy bunny, is he? And yeah, so it's a safety car here. Troy is in the pits. This could cost Nigel. This is going to cost Nigel dearly, I think. Then he didn't want a safety car at this moment in time. I don't think he has to adhere to the safety car delta there. As now into the pits there comes Troy then. So he's in the pits and he's thrown on the soft tires and the world championship leader. There he goes, and BP is in. Oh, Troy there, and to be held up slightly then. Of course, there's a BP. Ayrton's got a 5 second penalty for seen track limits. I wonder if he was just coming into the pits actually. And now Gordo's coming out of the pits. BP is already out of the pits. Look. Yes, they're going to be out in front of Nigel, because Nigel's coming back into the pits, and Nigel knew that the game was up then. Murphy is out in 4th position, I think, and that's great. Great someone did that. Wilson is back into 4th position. I just read that absolutely ridiculous. He's ruined my race then. And just take a look. Wilson's over in 4th position there. I'm not sure if some fisticuffs has gone on there, but Wilson's over to 4th. So we'll see how that one goes. Canetti in 5th, Serious Mushroom in 6th position as well. Murphy 7th, and Farf is 8th. Curly staying out in 9th position. Billet in 10th position. 11th position is Bradfield. Nigel in 12th position. It's all gone wrong for Nigel, hasn't it? TK coming out in 13th position there. Ayrton is out in 14th. He's got a 5 second penalty. Jake the Sailor and Bradfield coming to blows, unfortunately, which caused the safety car in 15th, and is coming out in 15th position. Young Tommy in the pits there. Maldonado, who's I've got to say, on a wretched lot of luck lately in ALR. Unfortunately, she's coming in the pits now. Is that Young Tommy into the pits? I got to throw on the soft tires now. So we've got a sprint, and everyone on the soft tires apart from Curly, who is setting his own trend on the white shod hard tire. Maldonado coming in the pits as well. So Wilson said that he would have gotten undercut and got second, then 4 below and 4th. I am lucky then. So yes, I think that Wilson there would have been up in the second end. So I'm not sure what's happened there. Unfortunately, I cannot comment. But some fisticuffs has gone on there for the Red Bull driver. He is the only Red Bull left in this race. While Wilson would love to get some points because he is in the top 6 of the World Championship moment, but they are starting to queue up behind him now with the likes of Farf and BP getting some good run of results. Maldonado is down in 70th position there, but she's going to be fairly happy then, because she does have penalties though, don't she? But she will be back up behind these drivers. Everyone's got 3 second penalties if they have got penalties. Murphy's got a 3 second penalty along with Farf, who has really been hurt in this safety car period, and he's dropped down into 8th position. And Curdy's got a 3 second penalty as well. He's on the hard tires. Bradfield 3 second penalties. TK 3 second penalties. Slayer 3 seconds, and Welsh Maldonado also 3 seconds. said, everyone's on the soft tire now until the end of the Grand Prix, and we'll see how we go from here on in then. So hopefully the safety car be in at the end of this lap then, and we'll be back racing once again then. So let's take stock. Let's take stock then. We're on lap 10 then, as of 15, and of course anyone that's just joined us, we had to do a race restart on lap 9 then after a major connection issue, and unfortunately and of course we started the race exactly how they started in Formula 1 then. So Parc Fermé had finished, and there's no Parc Fermé once the race had started. The drivers could have chose whatever the tires they wanted to start the race on. They could have chosen whatever setups they wanted to start the race on as well. So I wonder if some drivers might have tuned their setup slightly. Maybe the likes of BP, who's gone for more of a racy setup now, and you can see that he's very quick, isn't he? And I think that Troy is going to be very nervous with BP absolutely flying at this stage of proceedings then, isn't he? So keep an eye on BP. He's looking very strong at the moment as well. Very strong indeed. Ken T doing a great job in 5th position. The Ferrari driver debut as well for Ken T. Amazing stuff indeed for the Ferrari driver. 5th position, looking very strong indeed. Serious Mushroom has got the oldest soft tyres on. He's done 3 laps, and Curly is on the hard tyres until the end of the race. But Curly there might be a bit of a stopgap or mobile chicane there, but I have been wrong before. Curly might have pulled an absolute masterstroke, but I feel that the soft tyres should get to the end from here then. But again, then I have been wrong, as I've just mentioned before, and I probably am again then. And just taking a look then is we have got Leicester is now 1-1 now. Good stuff indeed there for Leicester then. But of course, this is not a football channel. Well, it could be potentially if you really wanted to. Anyway, just watching Welshman on she's just catch up to the back then. Hopefully we'll get that magical message that safety car be in this lap. We'll have 3 laps then of sprint racing as well. This is a bit of a peek into the future here in ALR tonight, isn't it? About the sprint races and the feature races in Formula 1. We had a sprint race of 9 laps earlier on. Now we got a feature race of 15 laps. Now we got very much where they finished in that first race. They started in the second race. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Interesting stuff indeed then. But we'll see how this one progresses then. Unfortunately, the second race has not been too good for the likes of Ayrton and Coden. But the McLaren drivers are now, one of them's in the points then. They would like to have had a full race restart, the McLaren team, but unfortunately that's not happened, has it? And it's been a bit of a nightmare race after such a good qualifying performance. And that is the Boucher Silver, isn't it? The qualifying the races just don't seem to. It's never how it finishes, how it starts. Almost more often than not. Then Troy is now the factor safety car, and of course that's the beauty. That is why Silver is absolutely entertaining. It is, isn't it? Right then, we're back racing then for hopefully the one last time then around Singapore here in Silver. It's been an action-packed Grand Prix, hasn't it? And Troy then has now got his work cut out, hasn't he? Now we're back racing. That safety car has really ruined, has unfortunately ruined the race for Nigel as well. As he's down in 12th position now. Look in the background now, as Farf is having a look at Murphy there is defending for all these work because Cirrus Russian there is on the old hot soft tyres there. Farf is all over the back there, is he? No DRS just yet. Wilson's coming under the cosh now from the Ferrari driver Kenty as well. Murphy is all over the back, and of course Murphy is flying the fly for the Mercedes here tonight, but Renault once again lead it. Murphy pulls out from underneath the rear wing of the Williams driver. He is through, and Cirrus Russian there is down into 7th position now, and Farf is pushing now. We've got Nigel getting past Bradfield, or is it the other way around? Bradfield is waving his fist. But look at Nigel. Oh, he's going to run out of Ruben. He has run out of Ruben. TK has got past Paul. And no, Nigel. And Ayrton has to take a face of action. And Ayrton's in him to Nigel as well. Oh dear. Far fair as Slayer's left for session then. Nigel out of the race there. What a shame there for Nigel. This if that safety car didn't come out, that's really ruined his race there. Nigel out of the Grand Prix. He is going to be furious, isn't he? Ayrton there. What a shame there for last week's race winner then. Wrong place, wrong time there from Ayrton there. What a shame there. And we've also lost Slayer as well, who's had a connection issue. Now big blows indeed there for all the drivers there down the near bottom of the field then. Farfair is really putting the hammer down, isn't it? But Troy is pulled away from BP. I was expecting BP to really put the squeeze on the race leader, but I got to say Troy is having a magnificent race, isn't he? It's not absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there for Troy. He set the fast lap of the race there, and he's definitely going for the full shebang here tonight. Pole position, fast lap, and the race with it as well. And look at it. Oh my goodness me, Cirrus Russian is starting to drop down the order slightly, and looks, I've got to say, Curly is looking very, I think he's looking very good on these hard tyres. Curly, it's good stuff. indeed. Serious Mushroom is really struggling there. Slayer's back in the race then, as Ayrton is not coming to the pits, but what a shame there for Ayrton. Wrong place, wrong time then. Sometimes if you don't have any luck, if you have any luck, you have bad luck, really, and I think that's what Ayrton is definitely thinking about now, isn't he? Curly there is not all over the back of Serious Mushroom just yet, but he does have a good old dive or two, doesn't he? Billet having a strong drive in 10th position, I gotta say. Good some detail from Billet. We're on board with him now in the Haas car, and he could be eyeing that 9th or even 8th position in this race, which should be good stuff for the Haas team now. One of the Haas are on the podium as well. That is Gordo. Bradfield and TK are behind him as well. Listen, just coming down into the Singapore Sling. TK and Young Tommy is not too far back as well. Serious Mushroom's got a 3-second penalty. Keeping on the penalties there, because that's going to be crucial. Young Tommy doesn't have any penalties at all, actually, does he? So Young Tommy could fish a couple of positions up here. We've lost our timing gaps here on the side of the on the side of the tower there. Slayer said this is the worst race he's ever had then, and he's down in 15th position there. It's been a very difficult race for a lot of drivers, hasn't it? And also with the confusion as well of having two race parts that very much marred Slayer's race today. What a shame, he's down in 15th position there. Ayrton, I think, is limp and wounded then in the Alpha Tower there, and I think Ayrton's going to be cursing his bad luck here tonight as well. Same with Slayer and Welsh Maldonado. Young Tommy might get very interesting. DRS is available with 2 laps to go. And TK is going to be through there. Of course, Bradfield there was struggling for turn there. And look at this, they're going wheel to wheel into turn 23. Magnificent, but look at this, wheel to wheel. They're almost touching into turn 1. Bradfield, that is great repelling there from Bradfield. Amazing stuff indeed then. And Young Tommy there could just sit there. And I think if he sits there, he should get some points there. Second to last lap of the Grand Prix. Thank you for staying with us tonight, guys. I've got to say apologies for the absolute very dull halftime package there, wasn't it, really, when everyone went for a comfort break kind of thing, didn't they? As TK is now up into 11th position and Bradfield down into 12th, but Bradfield is not giving up yet, is he? Because TK's gone wide then. Of course, we've seen what happened with Nigel a couple of laps ago around here there, as he was squeezed out there, and Young Tommy there is just sitting in at 13th position and with Welsh Maldonado in at 14th as well. Ayrton comes into the pits there, front on a new nose cone and come out then, and I've been watching this develop then. Nigel there is going to be absolutely furious with his luck tonight, isn't he? Goodness me. But I've been watching this one develop. Gordo's struggling on these soft tires. He's got a lot younger tires. Wilson's having a look on the inside out of Raffles Boulevard then. Not quite though. But Wilson there would love to get a podium here tonight then. It's going to be very tense. Kenty might be able to get... Oh, goodness me. Kenty on the sniff at the inside then. But Wilson there is slamming the door shut on the Ferrari nose cone. Farfus also getting very intrigued as well. Gordo is going to have another podium this season. Magnificent stuff indeed. I think Gordo has had he's had one position this season, one penalty, BP has got a penalty. Gordo might not hurt him at the moment, but because he is 3 seconds in front. Kenty's got a penalty as well. That is crucial to the Grand Prix. And yes, as the penalties are now starting to really rack up, and they're on board with Kente. He's going to be kicking himself that penalty because that is going to cost him. Well, it might not cost him any positions whatsoever, actually. But Kenty. And so Kenton might not be too worried about that. Gordo is 3 seconds back from BP, so that penalty that BP is pushing shouldn't hurt him too much. And then BP is going for it. So I think this is his 3rd podium of his career, if I'm not very much mistaken. It would be indeed then. So this would be BP's 3rd podium of his career then. This would be Gordo's 2nd podium of the season. So for the Haas driver, if he can stay there as well. But look at this crocodile who's got behind him at the moment now. Bradfield's got a 3-second penalty down top position now. It is a nightmare day for the McLaren team, albeit Curly could potentially get some points then. He does have a 3-second penalty on his CV though, doesn't he? Into the later stages of the race as well. So Gordo is really strong now. Look at how wide he is. Kenty's having a look on the inside of Wilson there. And I thought the Wilson's going to be spun around there, but luckily Kenty got over it. And there's Wilson going too far back. Then Gordo has gone defensive there, down into turn 15. And because Gordo is getting very defensive indeed, that is Troy is on his last lap now as he's coming through the final part of the race. And look at these cars and line on stern, and this is going to be tense for the young Haas driver with just a couple of corners to go. I'll keep an eye on Gordo's time and make sure he doesn't lose any position there. Troy is going for the full shebang here. Pole position, fast lap on the race week. Troy wins his 7th Grand Prix of his career and of the season as well. Magnificent stuff indeed there. And BP in 2nd position there. Gordo gets 3rd position in the shortened version of the Grand Prix. But Troy is extending his lead to over 100 points over Gamer now, and he is going to be Yeah, I gotta say, he is looking very strong, isn't he now then? But I'm not going to, I don't want to say it too loudly, of course, then. But Troy then, 100-point lead with just 6 rounds to go. He is looking very strong indeed. BP in second position, and Gordo getting his second podium of his career in third position. A strong performance there from Gordo. BP was absolutely magnificent in that sprint race, wasn't he? Magnificent stuff indeed then. Kente in fifth on his debut. I think that he was very impressive today. In sixth position is Murphy, Farf in seventh, and Billa in a very strong eighth position there. A great performance of Billa. He loves the street circus, doesn't he, Billa? And a 2 points finish in a row now for the Haas driver. Absolutely loving it there. Good stuff indeed there from Billa. As young Tommy is going to be very happy. How did he get points then? Young Tommy's also got driver today as well then. I'm going to be honest, I ain't going to disagree with that actually, because I think young Tommy there was foot as well. Absolutely great stuff. Gordon saying, ha, that's amazing there. Cirrus Russia has been robbed there. We've also got to say, well done, Gordon, for bar late dive, but it just wasn't close enough to make that. I think that was going down into out of the raffle, down to turn 15, wasn't it? I seen Wilson's nose cone was just trying to flick out there behind the Haas car, wasn't he? But unfortunately, he was too far back, wasn't he? Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Singapore Grand Prix. Troy got pole position, fast up, and the race win as well. Impressive stuff indeed. BP in second today. I think that BP had a great, that was a very strong performance there from BP. I would say that was I think the last race indeed, they're magnificent. Gordo in third position, his second podium of his career as well. Absolutely good stuff indeed there from Gordo. A strong performance there. Wilson there in fourth position there. Kente in fifth on his debut. That was a great performance there. Murphy would have got driver today as he came from 19th on the grid to 6th, if I'm not very much mistaken. Farfin 7th there. Billet 8th position. Brilliant stuff there. John Tommy got 9th position, and that's crucial for his fight to stay in silver. 10th position is Cirrus Mushroom as well. Outside the points, Curly in 11th position. TK 12th. Maldonado in 13th. Bradfield in 14th. Ayrton in 15th. Retirements was, I think Slayer was still in the race actually, but so in 16th position there. Nigel and Kimmy 17th and 18th. Both retired from the race. Nigel's going to be very disappointed with that then, as the safety car really ruined that race, unfortunately, then, for the former ALR world champion then. I think I'll be joining the gantry now actually by I think I've seen 2 people pop in then, but I'm not sure who they are. I think I've got BP and Troy, if I'm not very much mistaken. Give us a hi, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello. Let's start with you, Troy, shall we? It's a very unusual race today. I got to say, it was kind of a look into the future then with the Formula 1 sprint races and feature races that they might do later on this season. But enough about that. Talk us about your race today.